Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I was just about to say the benefactor because I've got that up there, the Price of Vengeance at Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Corinne, Felicia, Danny, and Jordan with their adventures on the high seas of Valeria. Don't forget, you can help or indeed hinder by using your channel points. That's the chaos points in the game. Check the chat, the options in the chat bar below. You can also join the chaos by clicking the Discord link below or book towards the session twist by becoming a subscriber. And due to me writing new campaigns, I haven't done the session twist that I should have done this weekend. So let's go straight into it and rejoin the players. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
What?
Oh.
Okay, here we are. Here we go.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Got us for a second there.
So a few things before we start off, and that is we've got a few commands that we've brushed up on. So the first one, if I put it in here at the moment, I'll choose one of the bots.
Oh yeah, the D&D Beyond. Thank you, Hermit, for telling us.
Yep.
I'll switch off the overlay in a second. So if I was to go exclamation point, welcome board when I can spell a board, and I was to choose our favourite bot, Lurks. It says there, welcome Lurks to the crew of the Wayback under the command of Captain Keely Horn. You're now Pirate Skag. Tell us your character's D&D race and your pronouns in chat, and we will add you to the roster. Check out crew commands. At which point we can go to crew commands.
Oh, it's like a choose your own adventure.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah, I would like to think that your average gamer geek can be able to deal with it. And so it gives a quick explanation of the commands, but it also has this little link. If you click that link, it'll go to a D&D formatted PDF that will give you all of the commands you can do and how to use them. So that should solve everything. If anybody has any questions in chat and you want to help out another Skag, you can just type in crew commands or welcome aboard and you'll be able to help them out. That means that we'll do it if we see it, but anybody feel free to use that just to welcome anybody who's chatting.
Felicia with the flex. 50,000 points for the Discord roll.
Okay. In that case, when I get back on Discord, I need to.
Well, I can give her the roll now. You can give yourself the roll.
Myself the roll.
Oh yeah, of course you can. You're an admin on there. Okay, give yourself the roll then.
You could have done that at any point.
We have one priest. Okay.
Well, we have me. I have it as well because I was the first one who redeemed it.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because someone gave you a subscription like the month before the rest of us got ours.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Yep. So as the Chaos Priests build up, there's a threshold. When I get a certain number of priests, something happens. Anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's a mechanical thing. Okay.
Yeah. When I put it in there, I was like, how would I use this? Because I know it's Discord bragging rights and all the rest of it, but I thought I'd do something for the priests in the same way that I want to do some things for the subscribers sometimes. So, I think that's everything. Do we have an aura?
No.
We don't. Oh, yes, we do.
We do?
Yes, we do.
No, Hermit, give us loot.
Aura,
Oh, we do have aura.
He's in the moderator.
Sorry, he's moderator. Yeah,
Yeah.
to the wrong part.
Okay, so, the person who is relevant to Prime knows already. Can someone turn up Simon's volume? Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a
No
bit
idea people can't
low.
turn me down.
I bet it's been really low today.
Yeah, I can't, because I can only turn up like all
I
the
can
volume.
turn myself up for you. It's not often people ask me to do that. There we go. How's that?
That's
Better?
better. Oh yeah.
There we
A
go.
lot better.
Cool. Good stuff.
Snipe is here. We can now start the
Oh, yeah,
game.
again, we've been waiting for fucking hours, dude. You know, we started at 6. Anyway, love you, dude. Welcome.
Ahoy, yes.
Okay,
Ahoy, indeed.
we are on the way back. The Wayback has been crashing through the raves. Crashing through the waves. Put my teeth back in. For about 2 weeks, and life on board just goes back into the usual rhythm. News travels fast, especially considering first Silverfin you told was there saying, "Yep, sure, I'll get this out," and even on the way to Jaspera, you can see incredibly fast ships, even faster than yours, have started to leave Jaspera, where they've been making safe harbor, to return back to their original trading company. So they basically beached at Jaspera, knowing that as long as they're on dry land, they'll be safe. And they've just been adventuring, doing whatever. You guys meet a bunch of them, and they start spreading the word. And you start to get reports.
I got something for chat for the raves.
What's he do?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good, Defrate. Take
Can
care
I-
of
yeah.
that doggo.
Exactly. A ship dog is for life, not just
Yep.
for a mission. Well done.
Yep. It's not just for a level.
Club outside the
the people are going to get really confused. when
Okay.
they come.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's gonna get really weird.
I mean, it would be okay if I could somehow color the waves behind me, and then that would make sense.
Yeah.
But you start getting reports. There have been riots. There have been threats of war.
Oh, it's a
as-
little kobold. Yeah, it's a
and
Scorpius.
yep, little kobolds
Scorpius.
skittering around the ship as well. Yeah, you see there's been a lot of trouble as a result of this.
Oh yeah, the hermit lost a
all of
finger to
the-
pig.
All of the tribes have been accusing each other of the shortages, and the Rosali have mostly been spinning a form of yarn, saying that they are making sure that some of the things are coming through using their magic. Some of the deliveries are coming through using the magic. However, of course, they're having to sell everything at a premium. So at the moment, they are the ones that are even though they're the ones profiting and following the money, you would think it would be those that you'd have to blame. No one's really got it together enough to say, oh, hang on, maybe they meant this. You eventually get given a lead. And that is that a lot of the shipments and things are going to a place called Port Barrow. It is one of the better ports. It's a neutral port in the city, although it leans towards the Rosali. You can find tribal houses of all the different tribes in this one place. I think minus one or two. And the when you take a look in there, so that's pulling up the map itself, you get from the free folk that there is a drowned king in attendance. Surprise, surprise. You know, the claim is one in each port in Illyria. There we go. So you're looking for Lucia. Lucia has a shipyard that's just inside the estuary, one of the few estuaries that go into the Jaspera mainland. And they point out on a roughly drawn map of Port Farouk where you can find it. She is a crass individual who finds her wealth through building ships. So she imports lumber, makes ships, and she mostly makes fishing vessels for the most part. Small fishing vessels so that people can go out, catch fish, bring them back, provide food. And she recently has been affected by this because nobody wants to go out in any of these small ships, even though they stick close to the headland.
Kate with the
Oh,
raid.
Hello,
Hello, Kate.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The you can see that it's clearly affected everything at the moment. And apparently, as families are starting to starve and things like that, they're starting to make deals with the Rosali and their agents to be able to continue eating and living. And they are offering laborers, funnily enough. Weirdly, they're offering to work for the Rosali. The Rosali are taking them to remote locations to dig up some sort of strange mineral, and that's all you've heard. The free folk themselves are very happy to be leaving Jaspera as they started to suffer themselves. Thankfully, they were able to stick to the shallows and stay away from the clutches of the Interceptor. And they were able to live on their usual diet of the stuff that they grow on their ships and the various fish and seaborne vegetation that they make most of their meals out of. But all the same, the frictions that were going on meant that they felt unsafe, even on the shores of Jaspera. And so, as you are now going into the Jasperan waters, you can see there's an exodus of free folk, traders, and on a lot of these vessels, you can see quite a lot of tribesmen. There are Jasperans themselves that are leaving Jaspera on the ships just to get away from something. You've been given the coordinates to a suitable location by which you'll be able to anchor and hide the way back.
Were we gonna do some interrogation on the people?
Yep, we're going to do that. And yeah, there's so with a suitable location, you should be able to row out and send a stealth force to go and find out more information and maybe get a lead on this. However, I was going to say, what preparations would you like to do? And I've got written down here that you do have crew members that you can interrogate. Most of these are mute or speak in a guttural tongue because they are so heavily mutated, but some of them can talk. But we did determine last session that if you ask them a question, Corinne can read their surface thoughts and get answers off them.
Yeah.
So...
Well, first, before I start reading their mind, because it is quite an intrusion, she's going to start with just a message spell to them, because that is just...
That would probably be the more gentle one.
Yeah. The sausage you can buy at Beck Demogorgon never go over. You must search what to eat. Want to go off. Happily barks at harvest.
This is so weird.
Okay.
So
Please, guys, please leave Hermit's fingers alone.
Oh my.
Just let him keep the 4 years left in his hand.
Not too much.
Ava will casually slap anyone who is looking at his finger with a spoon as she walks past.
A wooden spoon or a metal spoon?
Wooden spoon.
Okay. Then.
Tasty, chef.
How
Yeah.
many sailors do we have? Of the baddies have we captured?
I think I said you had 7.
Okay.
7 or 9.
Didn't we kill one of them? Right.
Oh
at
yeah,
the end,
it's
we killed
it's 7 now. Yeah,
Right,
Makes
okay.
us bulk.
yeah. One of them had their neck snapped
one. Yes.
by
Keely.
by Captain Horn,
Keely.
and yeah. She just picked one of them up and just snapped
That was
the neck.
that was to make a display, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we?
yeah.
Do we have? Is there a kind of a standard procedure for captured enemies?
Not for us, I don't think.
It depends.
Yeah.
So, if they are pirates, there is a form of sea trial that can be done by a captain. Or if it's sensitive, if you have to kind of get another faction involved, normally you'll get 2 captains, one of them being preferably of that faction. But 2 captains are required of 2 different factions. if you're not reprimanding your own. Reprimanding your own, obviously, that's easy.
Yeah.
As for the sailors of other nations, that's tricky. It depends on which faction you are, I guess. The Shacklemen have a code to work by, and so do the so do the Forsaken. So the Forsaken need to determine whether or not these creatures owe whether a debt of vengeance is owed upon them. Now there is a ritual that can be done that officer at level and above can do, and that is that you simply ask you get a small noose. So you get a noose with the end cut off to an inch. So it's unusable. It's important. It's an unusable noose. You hold it by the knot. You hold and you call on the Shackleman to call on their debt. If you can make it rhyme, it's considered favourable. Okay. But you can just say, "Shackleman, show me this man's debt."
You mean Gallman, not Shackleman?
Sorry, Gallman, show me this man's debt. Then you slip the noose over their head, and you will get a sensation of how bad this person is. Are they redeemable? Because many of the people on your ship have had this done to them, and the Gallerman said, this person can be redeemed. They should become Forsaken. At which point they were like, welcome to the fucking crew, mate. And then that they get pressed into service. If they are Reavers, and technically speaking, these are Reavers.
Yeah.
The procedure is to cut the throat and push them overboard.
Oh, we cut their throat first. That's.
I mean,
right.
Not much
yes.
better.
But yes.
Not much better now.
I will start with one of the just one of the random ones. The ones that looks like they're slightly more muted in it and has been there the longest. I think I'm gonna start with because they probably have the most information.
Shirin,
Okay.
can you find out while you're doing this? Would you be able to find out whether they're amenable to intimidation?
Yes.
Whether they're scared and whether that's a useful thing.
I could. I'm gonna start with just some normal questions before I dive into their minds. See how that goes.
Okay.
And
So
the ones that looks
As the freight goes past Ava, she hands him a bag of muffins as a thank you for doing the good work.
What kind of muffins?
Are they blueberry?
Yeah, of course they are blueberries.
someone showed us blue
serious
fucker with a
serious
brain is.
That's what I'm just reading the chat.
So yes, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm gonna find the one that is the most mutated because I'm figuring that person has been there the longest.
Yeah, okay, so you can see that there's been excessive growth on one side of the head, Elephant Man style, to the point where his forehead has come down over his right eye.
That's
You
great.
can see that the lips have drawn back over the jaw, to the point where not only the teeth but the jaw is exposed as well, and there's this constant stream of dribble coming down,
Lovely.
soaking his shirt. He has kind of clubbed hands, but not as much as the big brutes that you saw. And you can see that he's got these fat prehensile fingers that are mostly callous. And you can see he's just.
How did they function?
I have no clue. I messaged it. I used a message spell. What can you tell me of the ship you were on?
Serve on ship. Obey.
Yes, serve on ship, obey. What did you do on the ship?
Obey.
Right. Much information. What was... where did you get the creature?
Creature. What creature.
This thing doesn't even know. Okay. I'm gonna go into his mind to see if he's...
Doesn't look like he's gonna know
Ava,
much.
you're much better at reading people than I do. Is he playing dumb? Or is he...
Give me a roll.
Can you give me an insight roll, Felicia?
What?
I'm asking if is this guy just playing dumb or is he being genuine?
Insight roll with disadvantage because reading this face, good fucking luck.
Yeah. Also, so can I
Also
check
guidance.
out whether I can figure out what his function might have been on?
Blue
board?
dice don't fail me this week.
Also guidance.
Yeah, Danny, give me either a perception check
Guidance,
or
Felicia,
I'll
so you got a
accept
D4.
a sailing
if you
proficiency
roll
check.
guidance on this advantage, do you roll one guidance or
One.
one guidance per roll and then see which one is better?
You roll the guidance once and apply it to whichever of the 20s you choose.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
I rolled two 15s, so my dice are... That's a 4. See,
Yeah.
New dice are great.
That's fine. Yeah, you can tell Ava that this guy's not a thinker. Like he says, obey.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he
to
doesn't
back
even
this
know
up.
what you're asking him.
To back this up, I rolled a 3
They don't.
plus 4,
No.
so I get a 7 in total on my perception.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. He's calloused all over. You can tell what some of the others may have done just by the fact that you can see the kind of like where their skin is tanned. But some of them would probably be scrubbing down the decks. You can tell that some of them have got like almost aquatic features, but you can't tell what this guy did. With those calluses on his hand, it could be anything.
Did you read chat?
yes. Yes.
At least they're obedient.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dagal's bottom is the firmest, I think, Scorpius.
Simon.
Nice for buttocks.
Oh dear, we're already spiraling.
Yep.
Simon. Alphonse has a bit more of a unorthodox request. From the time of getting these prisoners, can he have one of them locked up in the brig? Just one of them.
Sure.
Okay, so the one I'd want is
You gonna
the one,
do the thing we talked about?
The one I want is the one that's most in between. So they're not the least affected, not the most affected by whatever's
Sure.
happening to them. They're in the middle of it. And if it's at all possible, I want to have been casting Cure Wounds on this fella every day that he's in this brig. To see
Okay.
if this has any effect on the prisoner.
No effect.
No effect.
Other than persistent use of the spell, some of the calluses have cleaned up on his hands. Which one am I gonna give you? So this one here is in the middle. He's not heavily mutated. He's got spikes coming out of his head in lots of different angles. He's got eyes that have got split irises like a goat. He's got kind of a razor line down his chin. He looks like a kind of dire version of Darth Maul. And he's got kind of ridges down his hands and things as well. You have the feeling that he was made probably for combat. If this was deliberate, this is, you can see there's a lot of ridges and impact zones and things like that. And you do notice after a few things that he ends up licking his hand and rubbing his eyes a lot because he has no eyelids.
Oh,
Ugh.
And
Poor fella.
so yeah, he ends up less calloused, and all the rest of his skin starts to look better.
Pirates.
But he's just there, just looking at you with these strange fucking yellow goat eyes.
I want to try and
I've got those
intimidate
eyes.
him as well.
So
So-
sure, go for it.
So
do you want to
tell
help
me.
with that?
I'm pretty okay with
Okay.
intimidation, actually. This is why I wanted to do this.
Yes, he's Dr. Death. He's pretty good at this.
That's it.
What were you doing on that ship?
can't talk.
It doesn't tell me anything.
Give him a pencil and paper. Maybe he can write.
Maybe he's a mate.
I doubt it.
I need to get my dice, man.
Maybe he is an artist before they did this to him and
Oh,
he can draw what he
pictures.
did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Get that man some chalk.
I don't know if Alphonse would have thought of that though. So someone else. will have
But
to
well,
say that
if
to
he
me.
asked Eva, that's what she would have suggested. Just
I'm going to say
him.
you did this over
Yes.
several days. You must have talked to the crew.
Yeah.
And yes,
Right.
that idea comes out of the crew.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't think he can write, which Dagal can't because his
Pictures
intelligence
maybe
is
then.
7.
Hey, I can write bits.
Okay. I'll assume that he's at least all the calluses are gone enough so that he could at least write if there was anything wrong with his hands.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
give him something to write with, he will start to roll me an intimidation check just to be sure.
10.
I mean,
10.
Okay. So with
You
with
can
a
guidance
10,
yourself.
he
I can't.
he
Can I?
seems to
Yeah, you can.
of course you can.
Yeah.
Will you allow that?
Yeah. Go on.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, guidance. The guidance doesn't come from you; it comes from your god. So you can kind of go, "Oh, God, be with me," and then go in.
12 then.
it's like
Okay, so I mean, it's clear that he's not intimidated, as in you haven't put the fear of God into him, but he is made to obey as a default, and you
Right.
notice that he's not scared. If anything, there's a kind of disregard for his own life, for his own
Just giving up.
well-being, and he doesn't seem downhearted about it. He's just
Doing his job.
He's just chilling into it. It's like if you might kill me, you might not kill me. Either way,
Singing
I
a
don't give a fuck.
song.
And so you give him the stuff, and he draws a ship being boarded with stick men, and then he does another drawing of figures being taken off a ship and into a building.
Where is this building? Great. You're useless.
What, should we take them with
If
us
you
to
listen to
Dallas?
our Lord, you won't be stabbed by a sword, or you'll be thrown overboard.
oh, we do like rhymes on this ship.
And then the dog is hauling along. Oh.
Well, if we can take him with us to
Just wait.
Jaspera, then maybe he can show us.
Well,
Right,
if you want to, I can have a look and see if essentially
Yeah.
find out what he saw in the
I think
thing.
this will be your job then, Sharon.
Yes. I'm
You did
thinking
good though.
either this guy. I'm gonna also talk to one of the least mutated guys that might be actually able to talk. Is there someone who can actually talk?
I did say that some of them can. So yeah, you can see that one person, he's kind of got milky eyes. Yeah, so it looks like they're cataracted or something, but you can't see the orifices of his eyes. But he seems to be able to see just fine. And you can see that he's got that kind of strange scaly skin, almost like lizard-like skin. Probably is tougher than regular skin. Maybe he, in mechanism terms, has an extra 8 point of AC.
That's called torture defense.
And he goes, "When are you going to kill us?"
No, we know. You know, we don't always kill people.
"I know nothing.
Jon Snow.
We know nothing. It's taken from us."
Are you taking your memories?
Us is taken from us. In the place where they do this. And he just runs his hand over the skin.
Where did they do this to you?
In a place place I come from, maybe. Taken from us. It always. Nightmares. Occasionally. We got Image. But he knows. Captain knows. When you have dreams, it gives you pain until you forget. He chases them away. Says, simple life. To be a hunter, to obey. I was not successful. He runs his hands over the skin again. Weak compared to the others. But more in the head than the others. I was the intelligence one, apart from the officers. The officers, not all of them had it either. They were called officers because it made them angry not to be called officers. But they all answered to the captain. No captain, no direction now. Only pain, emptiness. I want to kill you.
Great. Someone
Sure.
did this to you. Yeah, these guys. Captain Horn.
She's stood behind you, arms crossed, kind of mantling around you. You know, let's say she's a very large woman, and she goes, "Yes, my master."
These guys had no choice. They were themselves were taking away from them.
Then more debt has been accrued. She goes up, takes the guy that you're talking to by the jaw, and he just looks at her completely passively. He thinks she's going to do another chicken snap, and she just looks him in the eye and goes, "But you didn't know to ask for vengeance, did you? How did the creature?"
Did you know there was something beneath the deck?
The ship. The ship lived. That's what we were told. Ship live. Keep it fed. Give it fish. Give it food that we get from those we kill. Pleasure from kill. Only pleasure. Kill. Bring captives back.
I cast Detect Thoughts, and I'm gonna immediately push deeper into his mind. I will tell him that I'm doing this, so he
Sure.
can relent.
He doesn't relent. I need to grab my dice. I just realised I left them on the table.
Is this
Yeah,
he
I'll back in
doesn't,
2
or
seconds.
does he can't?
I don't know.
Probably.
But I can keep doing it for a minute, so he can roll saves for 10 times until.
A little
And
bit
if he
on the side.
still
here.
doesn't, then we wait until you do it. Can do it
Yeah,
again.
I wish I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day.
I get the feeling there's not that much mind to look into.
No.
Ah,
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when this hits, he feebly resists. There's part of him that just seems to resist, and you don't know why. Because up until now, he's been perfectly obedient.
Yeah.
And as you're pushing in, there's this resistance that then breaks. And as you slip into his mind, you realize that there's an echo of something left over. Shame. There's an echo of shame. And you're into his innermost thoughts. What would you like to look for?
Well, I want to look for the thoughts that are causing him pain, specifically.
So, thoughts about shame. Okay.
Yeah, thoughts about shame. Yeah, things that, because the other things are just gonna be generic stuff, but thoughts about shame, and also if he has any memories of the place, or where, and also where, when he was taken or taken from the place.
Okay. So, you find some broken images, broken memories, that probably don't make sense to him. But then you have a lot of context. He doesn't. He hasn't got any context to even realize that his memories are his memories.
Yeah.
You can see a giant coiled golden snake that is in the middle of a carved out
Oh, thanks so much
sunken
for the
temple.
follow.
This giant inverted pyramid. So carved from the ground, carved down, step-like. And then in the middle of it, there's this giant coiled gold snake. Give me a history check.
Ooh.
Like an alive snake or part of the...
No, it's a gold statue.
19 plus 1, dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you know this to be a statue very heavily revered, and there's only one of them, of the Tenakai, the giant snake tribe of Jaspera. They are peerless warriors, dervishes, fast moving. They either dual wield weapons or they use a weapon and buckler to fight. They're known to go into what is called the blood dance as they fight, which allows them, depending on what part of the dance they're doing, allows them different advantages. So they'll have, say, more defense, then they'll have more damage, then they'll have some form of evasion, then they'll have increased speed, and then it'll go back again. And they just keep going through the 4 or 5 steps of the blood dance. You know that the Tenakahi are very strict warriors of a particular code. They're not particularly nice, but they do follow the code. And you know pretty much everything that this poor creature would have done would have been against that code. If this creature previously was a Tenakahi,
Yeah.
why else would he have those memories?
Yeah, why else?
That would be the residual shame. There's just something that's been drilled into him from birth that he is wrong, that what he's done is wrong, that he has fallen out of favor. And the one thing you know is that the snake totem that they fight under is unforgiving to dishonor. Dishonor is considered to be something that is... It takes quite a bit to get dishonored, but once you get to the point of being dishonored, you are basically swallowed alive by the snake. And that can mean a number of different things, but the tribe makes sure of it, that you are swallowed alive by the snake, whatever the fuck that means. And that's kind of a well-kept secret. And yeah, this guy's got shame. Deep loathing for himself.
Poor guy. I feel so
Yeah.
sorry for these people.
Yeah,
But he's not aware of all this. He
no.
just knows there's a residual bad feeling at
Yeah.
in the pit of his stomach.
yeah. Yeah, so is there any memories about the place he was taken to that altered him?
Very little. There's flashes of memories of being in the dark, of having liquids pumped into his body. You can feel the rhythmic pulsing of the pump, the feeling of something that's a different temperature to your own body being pumped into you. This was pumped into his gut and allowed to just diffuse throughout his body, and he would regularly vomit up some of this stuff as well. And that's the only memory when you kind of because bear in mind you're in a mind space here,
Yeah.
so as you're there and you're kind of Google search laboratory or
Yeah.
Google search experimentation or
Yeah.
bad things happening to you. It's you kind of just drift into different mindscapes.
Yeah. Can I also find out what was his motivation for like attacking? Was it just like obedience to the orders he was given?
So being able to attack required him to be told to attack, but there's something in the very heart of what this creature is now that loves to kill. It seems that killing eases his pain momentarily, only to be replaced by a greater shame afterwards, of course.
Yeah. When I go out of his mindscape and I turn to the captain and I say, I think previously he was a, what's the name of the tribe?
Tenakahi.
Tenakahi.
Tenakahi. There's great shame in him, and there are images of the great stink statue in Jaspera.
Captain Horn kind of squints her eyes to you and goes, I wonder if there's anything left in there of him. And with a gesture, a 15-foot tall golden snake appears on the deck.
What?
Most of the captives don't react at all, but the one you're speaking to falls down prone, basically just face plants into the deck and lies there completely prostrate in front of this.
I would say so.
Do we think that they might be redeemable? We might be able to reverse some of this.
I don't know
Sure,
if
yeah.
they'd be redeemable or not, but I guess we have to decide on 3 different courses of action. Either they stay with us, become forsaken, or we send them off to the send this one, at least, to the Tenakahi. Explain what went on and see what they could do for him.
I
Or
mean,
we
he
give them the
probably.
quick release.
What I know of the Telekahi, he's gonna be fed to a snake if he gets there. Is
There are
Well,
worse ways to die.
if that is the religion he came from, I don't see the issue in it.
That's how his people die. Then we should
Yes.
send him off that way.
At least there's honor in there, and it might relieve some of his
Pain.
issues with that. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think the Tenakahi, if they get to the point where they're fed to a snake, are redeeming their honor. I think it is just rubbish disposal.
yes, that's.
Well,
I'm,
if there
I'm
is,
tempted to ask the Gallowmen at least about this one.
Hermit, I can see which bottle you're using to clean the deck there. I see any pitting in my floorboards. I'll be rubbing your nose in it. I'm going to leave it up to you. Make the decision. Speak to the others. If any of them ask for a quick end, give it to them. As for the
I'll
others,
prepare one.
as for the others,
Muffins.
this is the death muffin.
this is the
These
death
are
muffin.
These muffins are for the crew.
No,
Get them mixed up.
Do not mix them up.
Yeah, it's like purple muffin, death. Green muffin. No, hang on.
Blue muffin. The blue muffin is good. The purple one is bad.
If you're colorblind, fuck you.
But blue is
There are
kind
no
of
colorblind
sickly.
people on this ship.
Not anymore. She turns and says, if they ask for a quick end, give it. If not, and she reaches over to a spool of rope, pulls, big pumping arms, pulls off a decent length, and you can see as she just coils this really thick fucking marine rope into a hefty looking noose, pulls out her cutlass and cuts it off short and throws it at Dalgal. You know what to do. If I have any more crew, let me know. And she heads on out.
If there is anything to redeem, then we should, as the Forsaken. That's kind of what we do.
Yep.
But if there's nothing left to save, though, we should leave whatever remains of him to where he belongs.
Yeah. I'm.
Can't do that with all 7 of them, though, can we?
No, probably not. This one. I think this one has one more of the most chances. Though there's probably gonna be a lot of work into it, but that's what we do, as you say.
Well,
Is it though? Is it, you know?
we don't redeem people. We simply do what has to be done.
Well,
We give them the option to redeem themselves.
Yes.
well, sometimes you're forced on your redemption here as well. It's not always a choice. That people...
Oh, I'm not saying they're the ones choosing if they're gonna stay or not. I'm just saying it's
Nukaroon,
not
who
our
is
work.
walking past with a barrel, goes, "Yeah, not everybody here came for redemption. Some people had it forced upon them." And looks around at you all, not looking at any one of you in particular. Gives this huge minotaur smile, and with a tip of the horns, carries on hefting this large crate out the way.
I get the impression that none of them have the gumption, the consciousness
This
to go
one,
through a redemption process. Do you think this one does?
he might do. He's... Maybe if he's not on a ship that is teeming with that genetic altering material.
Well, but the magic didn't work on them. We can't heal what has already been done.
No,
Can
but
only heal
he's...
his shell.
But he can't... What I'm saying is not... He's not gonna end up like that guy, and I point to one with, like... jaw poking out.
I suppose we can keep them from getting worse, but is it even worth it?
Have any of them expressed a desire to just end all this?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna...
None of them have actually said so yet. One of them has asked, "When am I going? When are you going to kill us?" But
Okay.
it's currently, I guess, an assumption.
Yeah.
Because that's what they would do, possibly.
Yeah. They expect him to just be killed and thrown overboard.
They're not
Go
expecting that.
away, Bagel. Go away. Go to the freight.
Bad
We're
bagel.
working.
Yes.
These are prisoners, not food.
Yes, prisoners.
Not yet.
We'll get
Yeah.
that soon.
But yes, I'm gonna ask Dagal for the noose.
Mhm. I'll pass it.
Yeah.
Pass it over. And actually, I mean, I can do this. I will pop it over the neck of the,
Yeah.
the boat.
Yeah.
Which
you
one
do
are you
it.
putting it over the head of?
I'm putting it over the guy that.
Well, I
referred
think
as-
Dagal was gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So which one are you putting the noose over, Dalgal?
Should we ask for their name? If they have a name.
Yes. Do you have a name?
The one that can speak goes, "No names. No, we don't get given names."
Of course not.
I'll call you Warrior for now.
I will pop, as she calls him warrior, I will pop the noose ceremonially over his neck. It's
There's
not tight though, is it? It's just
No.
kind of hanging.
No,
Yeah,
it's just
it's a
loosely
loose.
around the neck. So as he put it over the neck, the Galliman goes, "The path for redemption for this one will be long, but it is possible. many things this creature and the man before has to pay for. But it is possible, or at least worthwhile, to die trying.
Okay. It looks like we've got another crew member.
Well then. Welcome aboard, warrior.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
prefer something else.
Bloom up here.
Here's a
green
bagel.
muffin and a blue one. Pick
I
one.
serve here.
Yes.
I
You will
kill
obey.
for you.
No killing for you yet.
You
Don't
will
let
do
him,
what the captain commands, and if you don't, well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
I obey.
You're.
Good.
What
you will
do
need
you?
a proper name.
Wait, what?
I
What do?
think Scorm was correct. Let's call you Dave.
Dave. No, I was gonna ask.
Classical warrior.
Warrior.
My name,
What is your name?
Proud Dave.
Yes.
No, we don't let him. Let him choose his
Yeah,
name,
I heard
Ava.
that
We
now,
don't
Dave.
choose his name for him.
He's not an animal.
No,
He's
Little
ours
pet.
now.
no, he's not an animal. You're not playing Glory.
I'm not playing Glory.
Although, oh my god, some of the things that Eva is doing is making me think I think I prefer Glory. She's
Is that a
Glory's
good or a
upfront
bad
with how
thing?
fucked up she is.
Like Ava
She's not
seems so
alright.
nice, but
Yes. What do you want your name to be?
I want name to be Dave.
Why? Mine one
First-
doesn't.
He has a good reason. It first thing given to me.
Well, I gave him the name Warrior.
Yeah, but that's a title,
that's
not
a
a name.
title. Yeah.
I know I warrior, but I given Dave belongs me.
Okay,
Belongs me. Dave.
Dave. Yes.
Yes.
And you can see tears are coming down this this creature's cheeks.
This
take
was
the
the one who
milky
didn't have
cataract
eyelids, correct?
No, that's the one in Brig.
No,
This
that's
is
the one down in the brig.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
This,
I'll
this
take the
one's got
noose off.
eyelids. He's got milky cataracty kind of eyes.
yeah.
And a kind of leathery skin that you can see starts out around his neck, but is covering his arms and his hands.
We'll see if we can help his outer shell later on,
Yeah.
if he wants that.
Dave.
Great if I catch you calling him Stinky Dave and so
Dave is one of the crew now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
one of us.
Yes.
So I'll take the
Everyone?
noose off him.
Give him the salute. He's one of us now.
If he's
Pirate
bound,
salute.
I'll undo his bound or undo his the binding. on
Yeah.
him. Fasten
Send him
on
off to mop some. Send him off to mop the
Yeah,
floors
exactly.
with the
Not
prey.
a
Okay.
crow's nest. He
This is
doesn't look-
canon. It's going into the NPC database way
Yep.
back.
Dave
Has
has joined the crew.
a mutant monk called Dave.
Yes.
It's
Good
canon.
name. Solid name.
I don't see the issue in
There is
this.
no issues here. We will love and protect Dave.
Yes.
He is one of us.
Traits: mutant,
Finish
mutant,
so now, like,
mutant, mutant.
Mutant. Very mutant.
Can,
guessing he's gonna
like
have a
looking at him,
intelligence.
can we see what race he was before this? Like, was he like human, or is he like tiefling with horns, or elf ears, or anything dwarf-sized?
Well, he's within the range of human to elf.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, possibly may have been a tiefling before and then majorly transformed, but you're guessing somewhere along there. There's not enough height and physicality to be orc or Goliath. And he's too tall to be any of the halfling and gnome races.
Yeah.
So somewhere in regular humanoid.
A tall dwarf.
Yes, that's what Daryl thinks.
He has that.
Oh no, you don't realize why we're laughing at that. It's because in WoW, I made a gnome that is convinced she's a night elf.
Which is like,
It's a really small one.
So it's a night
She
elf with
just thinks
dwarfism.
she suffers from medical conditions that makes her small. And not have glowy eyes.
Could totally happen.
yeah, totally.
Totally.
Half human, half elf, half mutant. Yep. I'm back.
Ah.
Bess.
Those halves add up because the mutant part is added on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So technically one
What
and a
is
half.
MATH? It's something very bad that you should never have. It will instantly kill you.
It will hurt.
Punishment and despair.
Yeah.
There's a whole math shit.
No.
The worst.
Don't you agree?
So,
Right. Now that
So,
we
yeah.
have successfully derailed the session, shall we continue with our
can
mission?
we do we need to do this?
Can we
with all
move down the
seven
line?
that we've got?
I can do long story short because something
Yeah.
dramatic does happen. You do one over in the brig. Once again, the Gallerman goes, "This one is going to be forsaken for life, but we'll find meaning here."
Okay. Crew member.
But already has chosen their name, and you can see as this almost chitinous, sharp-tipped fingers. The creature has obviously listened to the conversation that went up on deck, walks up to the wall of the brig, and with very little effort and spells out the word razor.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Okay, Razor.
That's
Thank
a
you.
really good name.
And
You'll be brigged longer for that.
apparently somebody went, "Oh bloody hell! Look at his fingers; they're like razors," and it just loved the sound of the name.
It's an it.
Well, on our way to Jaspera, Ava will spend her time trying to figure out what type of sweets these two prefer.
Yes. Any more that are redeemable, according to
That's the thing. You put it over the neck of one of them, and magically the noose tightens to the point where it
Shit.
strangles the thing to death.
Well,
On pretty much all of the others, the noose kills them.
Wow. That's quite efficient.
Regretful.
You notice the noose works faster than other nooses. Hanging is a very long affair, especially if you get the drop wrong. I studied Pierpoint, and the
It's
Pierpoint
quite
technique.
interesting how it works.
Oh, it's a fucking
Nasty.
it's a
Horrifying
grim art, but it's an
weapon.
art. You do notice that it takes around about 3 seconds to kill each of them using the noose.
Okay, so it's really humane.
yeah.
In comparison.
Okay, well I will.
I think we need to worry about our kobold.
Yeah. Yes. Shakes you.
I'll go.
It just goes nides before we find them. Yeah, you scuttle away.
Yeah.
I'll work with
Good
the first mate.
pun,
Organize the
Scorn.
disposal of those.
It's not the first mate that disposes of them. You watch as Nukaroon picks up the first two bodies once the noose has been removed and flings them about a good 20 foot off the ship.
Oh, she's done this before.
And make
Oh,
cannon.
So Nukaroon is actually the brother, the sister of
Sorry.
Sundus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nukaroon is the quartermaster. He lugs around barrels and crates for a fucking living. He picks up these things and just yeets them off the ship. Anybody who looks like anybody who says anything along the lines of, oh, a bit more ceremony or something, he turns around and just glares at them and says, "It's between them and the fishes now." And will duck his
fishes
horns
are known to
below
not
deck.
let food be wasted, so that's acceptable.
I just hope nothing happens to the fish, Stephen.
Well, you're not going to
Oh.
find much fish density in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, not the normal fish.
Dave gets his shackles taken off him, and Razor is let out of the brig. They look as if they want to murder you any second, and when they look around as if they're supposed to be fearsome, you watch as the Forsaken on board the ship are like, "Yeah, we're all killers, mate," and they look at them as if to say, "Go ahead and fucking try it." Within a couple of days, both Dave and Razor calm down to the point where it's almost like they've been on the ship for months. They are seen hauling rope, trimming sails, running up the rigging, and you do notice that Razor actually is a dab hand with a chisel and axe, and is quite a handy carpenter.
Nice.
Useful.
Alphonse would
Razor.
have been
Mutant
sticking around with
carpenter.
Razor as well.
So,
We give him like a spray bottle with a Mr. Seek and Mr. Eyes.
any
So, so we've got mutant monk and mutant carpenter. That's a good class.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, any other preparations? Because if not, we are going to go back to the present day as you go into a bay that's a
I
few
want to
miles down the coast.
prepare those what's it, poison? Sleep mushrooms.
Yes.
I
Oh,
want to prepare those
Yes.
into like usable doses.
And a
Okay.
Skag also had some of that. I think it was
what would
her.
you
Yes.
like? How would you like them prepared? There's a few ways you can prepare them. You can either prepare it as basically like a spore bomb, or you can make it into a more potent single dose that you pour into someone's drink. Again, you're a druid, so as long as you turn into something that is prehensile enough, you'll be able to pour, which does include things like dormice, for example. Dormice are really prehensile. You could have this tiny little dropper bottle, probably no bigger than this eraser. Yeah, it's a blue tack on it. But yeah, no bigger than this eraser. You could make a tiny little poisonous bottle, of which I'm going to say you have a few. That you can, even as a dormouse, just kind of go, right, I'm going to put this down because don't transform with me, turn into like a dormouse or a rat or something like that. And you can probably carry it in your mouth and then just about have enough prehensile grip to be able to pour it into food or whatever. So you can either do it as an ingestible poison, or you can do it as effectively a douse bomb. And the douse bomb will effectively be a 5-foot splash zone.
Well, according to the notes I took, I'm supposed to have 1d8 dosages. I would like to make both kinds if possible, like have some of each in case the situation demands it.
Okay, so first of all, let's find out how many doses you are going to have.
One.
I need you to. Well, we're not going to roll yet. So first of all, I need Felicia to do me. Is it herbalism that you've got?
Herbalism and cooking.
Okay, give me a herbalism roll to start
What's
with.
herbalism roll again?
I'll do a guidance.
So
as
it
well.
depends on what you're doing. It changes the attribute changes for this. I would like it based on your wisdom. So because it's based off survival.
So basically a +7 check.
Plus guidance, Jordan said.
So I would be around to watch this because this would be not exactly related to me, but it would be similar enough. It's altering people's states.
Yeah.
So I'd be around.
Oh yeah, and Ava loves having people around while she does stuff. Just talking, chatting, chilling. Okay, so that was not my best roll, but a 13 plus 7 is 20 plus 4 is 24.
That's pretty damn good. Okay, crewman Scornfuse, can you roll me a d8 by typing in !D8? And
Oh, no.
5 seconds after he does that, crewman Hermit, can you also do the same?
Ooh, a 6.
Six.
Good.
You rolled high enough, Felicia, to have this with advantage, basically.
Ah!
So are these two like kitchen bitches?
Yeah.
They're currently on kitchen duty, yes.
Okay.
Yep. They are.
Sorry, sous chefs.
Oh.
Sorry, sous chefs.
I was
Kitchen
not
bitch.
expecting that.
Can you do it again, Hermit? 1d8.
Yeah,
exclamation.
it was just a little too fast, so if you can just type that in again, Hermit.
Can.
Yeah, it's like some of my relatives in the force, in the police force, they used to call the special constables hobby bobbies.
Yeah.
I love the things that come out of their kitchen bitches. My God.
4.
Okay, so
Four.
so Hermit got a 4. So we're gonna go with Scornfuse. Yeah, you've got 6 doses. Now you have to declare it now. How many of those doses are ingestible, and how many of them are bombs?
Wait, how many did you say I got? 6.
6.
I will make... Out of 6, I'll probably make 4 bombs and 2 indigestible, because I will give 1 bomb to each party member.
Whee!
Mushroom
Okay.
bomb.
Sleep bomb.
Very smart.
Yeah, sleep bomb. In case we run into trouble, you can put everyone to sleep instead of fighting them.
Okay.
I know
so-
that sounds boring, but
No, that sounds great.
That's great.
Kitchen duties are for ladies. Shining your cannonball really does.
good job, Defrayed. Shine those balls.
Shine those balls.
Polish them balls.
Dave wants
Okay,
to
so-
see his name in them.
Yes.
Face in them, I mean.
Yeah.
And 2 ingestibles. What's your spell? What's your modifier? You said +7, yeah?
Yep, on survival.
Okay. So that's DC 15
Yeah.
for these.
It's the same as my spell modifier because I'm a wisdom person.
Yeah. So DC 15 because it's always 8 plus blah. Plus. Yeah. Okay. So 4 sleep bombs, 2 ingestibles.
I need to turn my page and write that down. Fuck.
Yep. So it's con save DC 15.
4 sleep bombs.
Mm-hmm.
2 sleep potion.
And you said sleep bomb is 5-foot radius.
Yeah. So a 3x3 square if we had a map.
5 feet within parentheses R for radius, and then what was the saves you said?
So on all of it, because I'm not going to bother doing the sleep spell bullshit, it's con save DC 15.
Con save DC 15.
I'm going to say with the dose that Hermit got, and the fact that Hermit,
Oh.
who himself is is an alchemist,
Alchemist.
following your example, Hermit can decide whether they have a bomb or an ingestible. So make the decision now, Hermit, and write down whether you have a sleep bomb or an ingestible. And when it gets to the skags part of it all, you can use it in combat, or for ingestibles, you can just slip it into someone's drink. Okay, Hermit, Cannon, you will have a sleep bomb.
Yes.
I think this is a really bad idea.
No, it's not. This is a great idea.
It's a
Nothing can
brilliant
go
idea.
wrong.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, give the viewers consumable magic items. That can never go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hermit already has too much power.
Okay, so yeah, you are unless there's any other.
By the way, Jordan, wasn't there something you were gonna do other during our long rest?
Oh yeah. Prime, are you there?
Yeah.
If you're there, drop something in chat.
Let us know if you're here, Prime. We have a thing.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's here.
Okay. In that case, Jordan, go ahead with your scene.
Right. Prime, you did a great job the other time when we were fighting the
The other
captain.
day.
Yep. It was a while ago now. That's not important. Then Alphonse will sort of open up his robe a bit and pull out a gun and throw it towards Prime. I can't remember the exact name because it was you said it was like a witchlock pistol, but it had a different name. I can't remember
Yeah.
the actual name of it.
So this one, these I think were. Did I decide on Grimlocks or did I?
I think you said Grimlocks were copyrighted.
Yeah.
No, Warplocks are copyrighted, so it's a
The
Grimlock.
Witchlock.
Right.
Yeah. So Prime Alphonse pulls out a Grimlock pistol and
Uh-oh.
puts it in front of him.
Yep.
Wait.
No.
Twitch just fucked up for me. I'm gonna reload and see if we're still here.
Yeah, we are.
Here for
according
me.
to
Okay, good. That
Okay,
was...
it's just that's cool.
Yeah, I
and-
just saw the crash message and was like, wait.
I was like, no,
so-
we're not dropping frames or anything, so we're all good.
Can we have an explanation, Alphonse?
Explanation of the gun.
Yeah, because you sent the other one away.
Right, yes. The other one is going to be studied. We're going to send the other one away to... as I check my notes, because I can't remember the name. Going over
Latest
to
name.
Bloodwind for study.
So Bloodwind Blood Axe is the main maker of Witchlock pistols in this world, and these are different. These are a twisted version of it all. So Prime, type in !Prime Pistol. And yes, Scumfused, I'm of that generation, which is why I decided to go for it. I had dreadlocks and a few other things like that, which would, which also had particular meanings for me. But in the end, I went for. I did actually go for dreadlocks.
Oh, you did
as
go
a
with
dreadlock
dreadlock,
pistol.
okay.
Yeah, it's a dreadlock pistol. Okay.
Dreadlock then.
Okay.
That's why I was
pretty
like,
good
which
name.
one was it? I'm pretty sure we had this one.
Yeah,
Oh.
we did brainstorming, and then there were too many options. So that's your offhand attack, Prime. So you can slash with Skag attack, but then your offhand you can fire your dreadlock pistol, and it will fire necrotic damage at the target of your choice. So.
These Skags are going to be.
And
more
because
like these ones.
because Prime is a mod and has been a mod for a lot of us, actually, Prime's a mod for Kate, for myself, for Chaotic Neutral, I think for like Sean and that as well. Prime, you have one extra addition to that, and that is when you fire your Dreadlock pistol, you can do something that the other Skags cannot do, and that is you can target named characters. So you can target the things that these guys are fighting. And help them out. So.
Ooh, with necrotic damage, wow.
Yeah. We always need
I
a
like
Prime.
to give back. So.
Nice. One of us.
You are in a bay, a couple of nautical miles down the coast from Port Farouk. I don't know if you're able to show the map, Corinne, but the players all have maps.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to show it, yeah.
We could at least link it.
Yeah.
If you have a link.
Actually, I could probably link it myself as well through Google Drive.
I
'cause
just
that's
linked the Discord picture.
There you go, I linked it.
Okay, cool. So you can see that Port Farouk is a large port used by most of the tribes, and each of the tribes has a barrier and then the rest of the places that belong to any number of people. So it depends which barrio you go into as to what they're owned by. Depending which tribe you are, or if you're in the tribe at all, you'll get a different response. Now this is the
I suddenly have an image of Ava having like once a week having a school lesson for skags that are lesser educated in. This is how you read. This is how you do numbers.
I will join in on those classes.
Just making sure
front
they're
row,
standing
eating
in
his
line.
pencil.
Just making sure everyone else is behaving. That's what you're doing now.
Sure.
So yeah, you guys have to infiltrate this town. So I've given you a town. You can see that it's fairly open. The only thing that divides it in the middle, which could provide some sort of logistical problems, is that there are only 3 bridges that cross the river. Now you can swim through the river, but then you have to try to pass yourself off as regular folk who are sopping wet themselves. And this place, it doesn't rain all that much. In fact, rain days are celebrated. And so Portfroke has people who actually brew water, of all things. They brew water and small beers and things like that to be able to sell them so that people can hydrate further into the inland. And there's a small amount of fresh water that comes from the river as well, which has made this particularly powerful place. Now, the reason why I have green zones on this is that is the only greenery you'll see. And they very rarely use it for anything ornamental. Even the palace will pretty much have orchards. And that's where it will go, because you'll get it back in terms of rehydrating yourself through fruits and things along those lines. Everybody who can get access to a green garden here is probably of the upper class, or very, very rich merchants. And there will be some form of lusciousness to it, and it will be used. Everything will be used. So, this is a town where everybody looks at everybody else. It's not a place where there's any level of complacency. When you were in Khantoum, as long as you looked like a warrior, everybody else would turn their head down. Now that you're here, everybody will be looking at you, and everybody is ready to fight. Fights break out regularly. They're normally broken up by the guards. The only reason that there isn't almost constant infighting here is that the guards are hired from outside Jaspera, and they have been told, basically, break up fights and kick the ass of both sides. Consider them to be relatively high level. Yeah? So the guards are dangerous, everybody else is up for a fight, and everybody suspects everybody else of something. It's a dangerous place to be.
Sounds fun.
You have got to come up with a plan to get in there, and you need to start getting dirt on the Rosali. Now, the good news is that you will be able to use some of their natural enemies against them. Now, you know that the Rosalis are using the Peltara, the Bitter Sun Horde, as their business partners in this. There are going to be people who don't like them.
How much time do we have to gather dirt?
Any amount of time you want.
Gather dirt.
In sessions, you don't have many time, but you.
Of course
if you wanted to do something over a week and give me a master plan that's taken over a week, we'll montage the fuck through it. So we can do that. We can absolutely do that.
She means actually picking up dirt. You need to collect lots of dirt.
just
No.
Bring
I'm quite literally thinking about using our party's exotic skills to our own benefit by both fitting in and not fitting in at the same time. Because all Ava really needs is a storefront. We have Shirin, the waiter, who will walk around and mingle with the customers.
What are you doing?
Oh no.
We have Doggle, the security detail.
Mhm.
And we
Not in
have
those shoes, mate.
Alphonse, who is the friendly guy who just walks around helping anyone he can help and just talking and making friends, you know.
Algol doesn't look friendly at all.
Don't
even-
forget that you also have your friendly neighborhood skags to fill in for anything else that
Yeah.
you need as well.
Yes.
You know?
Like,
An orc,
we can make this
kobolds.
entire elaborate plot of just being merchants, just come to port, trying to earn some extra gold while we sell our wares, you know.
Pretty sure our ship is noticeable.
Yes, but
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna
we
hide
won't-
that one.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to come aboard on a small ship, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have small ships that are small enough to come down the river?
We have got on a rowboat.
You've got a skiff and a few rowboats. So yeah, you've got something that could come down. Nobody's going to believe you're a merchant if you turn up in a skiff. They'll know that you've come from another ship. But you
Okay.
can, if you want, intercept one of the free folk ships.
Oh yeah, and
And-
just ask if we
and
can
come in on
borrow.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We'll wait until.
Didn't we save some? Can't we clock in on our little favour?
Oh yeah, yeah. The free folk will happily help you at any time because you guys are their protectors. They will pretty much just help you just like that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that
Okay.
if we can just blend in as people traveling through and just like maybe drop some hints like, oh, those guys wouldn't let us in that port. It's so annoying, you know. Just mingling with the locals, seeing what we can find out, what people are talking about.
Yeah, because is our ship very recognizable as not a merchant ship?
Not so much.
It's more the
The-
fact
the
that we're
ship-
forsaken.
It's not so much the ship. It's the second they look at your crew in its entirety, they'll be like, "Fuck off,
obvious.
those are pirates."
yeah, yeah.
What do we know
Yeah.
about the different factions? What do we know about like Cafiti and Axecorp?
That's a history check.
I
yeah.
think I know history. No, I don't.
No.
But I can try.
Yes. Who has the best intelligence?
I've got 3.
+2.
I
Well-
can give it a go.
Danny
Yeah.
was the one who asked, so he
Yeah.
gets
I
to roll
did.
first, but then he can
I
ask
did.
for help.
Yes.
I will-
Let's
I
go
will
minus
help
2.
I have an intelligence of 7, so
Let's do it.
Yeah, do it.
okay, here we go.
Oh, guidance as well, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
So if I get help,
Always
am I rolling
guidance.
with advantage?
No, you're getting a D4.
You get a
with
D4 on
guidance.
top.
Damn it. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I
Come
know
on.
we want advantage, but
Natural 1 and a
Oh,
minus
no.
2.
It's -1.
3 is 1.
Okay, so you think you've got it. You think you've got it. As this stuff comes out from Dalgle's mouth, and is there he's regurgitating all this information about them all.
yes, the freight. I'll take those books off you. Here, have a bag of bagels. I made some extra yesterday.
Oh yeah, we had a bunch of old books that could be on any subject.
We, you mean the freight?
Yeah,
had a
the
bag
Freight
of-
had a bag of
Uh,
books that could be on any subject.
You guys know that Dalgle is now regurgitating information from effectively a saga, a fictional
Yeah.
saga in this world. Basically, the Game of Thrones of this world, and he's telling you the full fucking plot line with spoilers.
Dalgol, that doesn't sound right at all.
That was a book.
Yeah.
I met the lady who
I
wrote
can't-
it.
It can't be a book. I
It's
haven't read a book.
Yeah, you can't.
Dago, she wrote it like 200 years ago.
I must have seen a play. It
Yeah.
must have been a play.
Probably.
Yeah.
A drunken
Sure?
brawls.
Yeah.
Or you
Having
heard it
stories.
while you were drunk
well,
and now
well,
you're convinced it's
What you
real.
were saying.
It happens
Um,
to the best of us.
Yeah, the
I
other
know.
thing, actually, I do hear this voice in my head now. I'm recalling this information. It may have been a bard. So
Okay.
yeah. So would anybody else like to?
Yes.
Really?
Will I have guidance?
You'll have guidance.
Thank you.
We're trying to remember things here.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. That's a 15 total.
I imagine
Okay.
we're just trying to tell each other what we know.
So you know some of the more potent stories to come out of Jasper. So there are a bunch of really popular stories, and you know enough to take some of them with a pinch of salt. You know that the tribes can pretty much be split into two groups: those who are just trying to survive, and those who are effectively just dicks. The ones that you know that are, I mean, they're all pretty brutal because it's a violent world. It's a violent continent.
Yeah.
But you know that the Kawiti, the Brightwing tribe, stick almost exclusively to the coasts. They are effectively like Maoris, and they spend all their time, if possible, on the sea. They are fishermen for the most part. They don't really care about owning any land inland, and they get most of their they get by most of all by just trading with the other tribes. So
They
they're
live
kind
off
of
the land.
they're kind of neutral. They're kind of Switzerland because that's how they've fitted themselves.
Kinda Switzerland. I'm
Uh,
sorry, that just cracks me up.
Well, in that they're neutral. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody pisses them off. They're neutral, but they are also a little bit like Norway in that everybody wants the food from Norway because they've got so much of it compared to their population. And the Kawiti, they're the only tribe that has a surplus of food because they get up every morning, they go out onto the sea. Some of them even live in kind of like floating sea huts that stay close to the water because a lot of people in Jaspera cannot swim. Mostly it's the Kawiti that can swim, so they use that and have
They
used it for
capitalize.
generations.
Yeah.
The others that you know about the Kawadir. So the Kawadir are the Steel Sisterhood. They are miners. They are matriarchal for the most part. So there are male members, but it's the women who rule. They are known for their armor. They tend to make armor that is minimalist, and I don't mean in the bell fucking way. I mean that this is proper duelist half plate, so that they can wear a form of plate that means they don't bake in the sun. Their plate is normally covered with some sort of cloth to stop the metal heating up. And as I say, it tends to be a duelist's half plate. So half plate normally is that it just covers certain parts of the body that are typically hit. A duelist's half plate is more heavily plated on one side than the other. So they are mostly
when they're
duelists.
advancing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they're mostly duelists. And again, you won't find many two-handed weapons in this. There are some that. So there is a particular tribe that prides themselves on it, and that's the Twin Axe tribe, the Axe Kupla. They have two-handed weapons, but most people just have one-handed weapons because forging steel and stuff like that is even though they have got a large amount of steel here.
It takes a lot of resources.
It takes a lot of resources, and also carrying the fucker around. If you're going to be dehydrated, trying to carry around a great double-bearded axe is not useful at all. And normally you have to carry your pack and all the rest of it, so they tend to use that. So that's the Steel Sisterhood, and they are kind of like desert Amazons, I guess, but peerless smiths, very, very keen blades. They are very famous. The bards like singing about them, but a lot of the things the bards say are either fucking scandalous or completely wrong. The
I
Red
don't
Storm,
agree.
That is Bards in a
Don't
nutshell.
agree at all. Bard stories are it's all true.
It's all true.
all
Not
bard
all
stories are canon. You know about the Bokabre as well. The Bokabre are a former slaves that weren't freed by the Shacklemen, although the Shacklemen do talk about them. Voice of Freedom tribe, and they turned around and killed their masters, basically. And by killed their masters, committed genocide on the tribe, and pretty much overnight killed the tribe that owned them, and took their houses, their possessions, and it was weird, just like, you'll be like a trader, you'll take like a 3-day journey to one thing, you'll go back and everyone's fucking changed. And that's how quick it happened. That's pretty famous. The last one that
Good
you know
job.
about are the last two that you know about are the Red Storm and the Burned Lions. You know the Red Storm because the Red Storm is the only tribe to have nearly taken over the whole of Jaspera.
Yeah.
At one point, they owned about 2/3 of it. And then the Coera, which are the Burned Lions, have a nasty way of killing people they don't like. They stake you out in the sun and basically let you sunburn to death.
Ow. Ow.
And they have particular dances and rituals that they do, mocking the person who is dying as it happens.
Oh, they sound lovely.
Yeah, they tend to be quite. They get sun crazy as well, which puts them into a form of rage.
Of course.
My people.
So
Yeah, I would
that's how
not
much you know.
recommend dancing in the sun for that long. It's not good for you.
You've heard about the Rosali only from what you've got already, and the others I haven't mentioned, although I've mentioned a lot of them now. The others I've mentioned, you'll just have to learn as you go.
Scornfuse, you're here to not to learn how to not steal from people. So
Unless they have done bad things, then take all their stuff.
yeah,
Mhm.
but
You're
let's
trying to
not.
redeem yourself.
Yeah, let's not pickpocket random people. Yeah.
Right. Let's take our 10-minute break because it's 9:30, which will give you a chance to brew up a plan on. Although you already seem to have part of a plan.
I
So how
liked
about?
my idea.
So give that some thought, and I expect you to brief your skags on their roles when we get back.
Dear.
Okay.
10
we'll
minutes
see you
is
soon.
definitely enough time to do it.
Yeah.
We
See
have
you
one
guys
final.
very soon.
It's not like
We
we,
need a
talk
session
shit
for this.
when it's break time every week.
Yes. So
Right.
see you guys in a bit.
See you.
Yeah.
And welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the slightly longer than 10-minute break. DM needed food badly.
DM needs food.
Yeah, the DM
Just
has
say that
bites
as I'm still
a really
shit
long.
munching.
Yeah, I'm starting to get used to cycling 14 kilometers, which will soon be a daily thing. But yeah,
Oh, well,
let's just say
11 kilometers daily.
it'll be 11 kilometers daily unless I go and visit my daughter, in which case it'll be 14. So
Gonna have cards like steel.
I've already got those.
Yeah, you already got calls for steel.
Yeah, I've got the weirdest fucking body. I swear to God, I feel like a velociraptor. Not velociraptor, fucking T-Rex sometimes, because all my muscles are in my legs. Yeah, and then from the waist up, I'm useless.
Every day is leg day.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that I've never driven a day in my life. So yeah.
Oh,
why not?
hello, Dragons in the Dining Room.
Oh, Dragons is back. Hello. We now have, hopefully, a well-honed plan. I was listening in, thanks to the wireless earphones, to you guys deliberating over
It's
break.
such a honed plan.
Oh yeah,
It's not something I had this idea of, and then I just ran with it, and everyone else was like, "Yeah, let's do that."
That's
We've
as
been
good as
discussing
any.
it all week, actually.
Yes, of course, permission to be on board. Welcome aboard.
We didn't
Ahoy.
discuss the skags we're bringing along in full detail, though. We said
Yeah,
who we
so-
want.
Obviously you can't take every skag, but I'd say about 4 or 5 with the plan that you've got in mind. But first of all, let's go over the plan because it's become a lot more complex since before the break.
Yeah, oh yeah, it has.
One.
Okay.
So we're gonna kind of rendezvous with the free folk first
Yep.
of all,
Yeah.
and find like a civvy ship basically that we can go on basically to get into a port. Is there one docking point?
I mean, there are docks in Port Farouk. That's where it's a port.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you stop a couple of free folk ships. They're very happy to flotilla up, just kind of grapple with you, except instead of being a boarding action, you temporarily become like a floating village.
Okay.
And the captains, which are normally like the head of the family, so you end up having a bit of a meeting on one of the decks of the ships. And there's one guy who's quite old. He's got like a permanent suntan now because of being on deck. He's got a long beard that comes down to like a sternum. There's another free folk captain, and she's quite clearly the matriarch of the family. You can see she's got kind of calluses on her elbows. Again, kind of like hench fucking muscles from a lifetime of scrubbing ships and raising kids on the sea and pulling rope, and a couple of others as well.
Raising kids, you mean skags? I understand.
No. Actually, no. For free folk don't have skags. They're not pirates technically. They are the free folk of the sea. They're just
Have names.
the free folk. Yeah. And so yeah, they are all there, and one of them steps forward, and it's the guy with the long beard. He goes, "I wasn't coming out of Port Farouk, so they won't recognize me coming back. I can take you in."
Perfect.
And you can see as his first mate, which seems to be his oldest daughter, glowers at you. She does not want to go back to Jaspera. She was like, "Oh fuck, we just got away from that place." And she's not at all pleased.
I will offer her cheesecake.
Ooh.
How did you make
I mean-
cheesecake? Oh, okay, I'm not even gonna question it.
Don't
Magic.
ask. Don't ask.
She calls it cheesecake. It's probably not.
Yeah.
It's like I can make cheese out of milk with magic. It's like, yeah, but where do you get the milk from?
Oh, yeah. How did how is
Raid
not
on
gone
another
off?
ship.
We have a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No!
Bagel, no! Not the
Moving on.
bagel.
So what's the free folks captain's name?
This is where have I got it here?
You need a goat.
He is.
I want a goat. We could have a goat on board. I mean, that wouldn't be
Chaos.
too hard to take care of.
Chaos.
Samwise Noakes. Samwise Noakes.
Samwise.
He's a little halfling guy, and you can see
Scorpius, I don't
actually,
want to know
seeing
what
as you've
that
asked,
milk is.
you can see by the calluses on his fingers. You have a feeling that he's been a bare fist fighter, a portside bare fist fighter at some point in his life. Just again, you don't need intelligence for this. You've seen that shit. You're like, I know what you've been doing, Natty boy. And yeah, he's a free folk captain, and he just we can take you there. We can take you there.
That'd be great. Okay. And once we get there, are we
So
are we staying together, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sort of.
For now.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yes.
I've got to warn you, I've got no cargo to speak of.
Oh, don't worry. We have some extra that we're gonna use.
Okay, no, that works. That works. Yes, if you can provide the cargo, because that'll be the first thing when you port. They're going to be saying, where's the food, where's the rest. We did have grain when we first came this way, but we sold the whole lot. I mean, at a price as well. I almost felt bad selling it for what the going rate was, but the going rate was the going rate. I guess that's how it works.
Sounds like they're really good there.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean,
Okay.
we mostly stayed on the ship, and we ended up anchoring not in port. We came into port, did our business, and we actually anchored off to one side in the bay. We fished off the side. We went diving for a few bits and pieces. The Kawiti were all right about it. We said we're only taking what we need. We actually traded some of our surplus netting and a few other bits with the Kawiti as well. They're under it. They're keeping people alive out there. They're about the only reason some people are alive.
Right.
It's an absolute fucking shithole, mate. I wouldn't recommend it. But hey, you got to go in, right? Forsaken, and. He says it as if he knows what the Forsaken are for, but you're not entirely sure he does know what the Forsaken are for. He just knows that you guys are badasses and you don't fucking argue.
It's a good bluff.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, we have some of the South Meridian Trading Company goods, so we're gonna stock their ship with whatever we have there, and maybe erase the names on the fronts of the crates.
Said,
we
no,
wouldn't
don't
need
bother.
to do that, would we? No, that's
We
fine.
have the documents for it.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
what
true.
else.
They won't even give a shit about the documents, mate.
They just want the goods.
Hey, if there's food in there, they'll take it. They won't ask questions.
Beef jerky and the finest pickled herring.
At least.
Amongst other.
They'd eat dried mushrooms straight out the box, mate. They really would.
We'll take any cooking
Not even
ingredients with
cook
us.
them.
You can see this little halfling is clearly not. You don't see any signs of starvation on him, and indeed you can smell some sort of oily fish, maybe kippers, currently being cooked as maybe his wife, maybe somebody else from his family, is currently cooking the next halfling meal of the day.
Next halfling meal of the day. I like it.
11s.
Yes,
So
make
he
sure
says-
You add both salt and sugar, but you add a lot of sugar, but a tiny bit of salt, Scorm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a tiny, just pinch, because the salt. Ava told me this. The salt helps carry the flavor or something.
Yes.
So
So if you can fit the salt between your
Bollocks,
fingers,
you did.
then it's enough.
Salad Nosrit told you that.
yeah.
Salt, fat, acid, heat. If you haven't read it, read it.
This book. I read
Change
the
your fucking
digital
life.
version. Oh.
So good. So good. It's
I want
transform
this.
food for me. But yeah, so you get onto the Nook's ship, and Samwise says, "Thankfully, we've got some berths that are for the taller folk. Thankfully, our size being what it is, allows us to bunk up a little more efficiently. Like, how many of that lot are you bringing with you?" And he points to the Skags.
Skags, who wants to come?
Who wants to come,
I-
Skags?
I
We're all
reckon
calling
we
First
need
of
some
all,
muscle.
I want to know who wants to come, and after that, we will decide who of you will actually come. Because we can only bring so many.
Who gets picked last of the football team?
Maybe that.
Dragons.
Dragons went in there first. That's got to be a good thing.
The
Scorn
whole-
definitely does.
yeah, Hermit wants
And
to.
Hermit is up.
Anyone else?
Anyone else? Does the Frank want to
And
come?
Prime.
Here we go.
Aura.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't think Aura came on the last one, so that's one.
Aura wasn't here last time.
No,
Okay.
neither was Dragons or Scorm.
Okay.
Let's say the Freight doesn't mind. The Freight might
Okay.
The
Okay,
Freight
so we
might
got-
want to
Might
shine.
wanna stay back this time.
Yeah, and the shine cannonballs.
Yes,
well-
shine all
well,
the
Storm.
cannonballs. I want to be able to see my face in them when we come back.
Button
Yes,
drop.
I don't trust putting Scorm alone on the ship. I am much rather leave.
Well,
Freight.
you've
The
got-
captain
you've
is
got
still on the ship.
Keely,
Yeah.
Nukaroon,
Yeah.
Hundus. You've got a few of the officers left on the ship, yeah. Yeah.
Last time I said I want to stay and got picked first. I was yeah, you were.
You were. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
stick with 4. Should we stick with Hermit, Scorn, Prime, and Dragons?
Yes,
Sounds
that
good to
sounds
me.
good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the Skags get onto the ship, Samwise turns around to Prime and says, "You lad, you don't look anything like us lot. I got a change of clothing for you." And Samwise offers Prime a traditional halfling sailor garb, and if Prime takes it, he'll just look like one of the family.
Aww.
As for the rest of you, Scorm, you are the same size as a halfling, and
They've got an
so-
outfit for you.
reluctantly, one of Samwise's sons picks up the oldest fucking clothing that he can find and just tosses it at Scorm's feet and says, "Put it on."
The little tuxedo.
Aww, a little tuxedo.
No gold in a tuxedo. Little bow tie.
The mascot.
Okay, so Hermits and Dragons head on as well. That is your squad, your crack squad for this social mission. For the most part, it sounds like you're going for. The way back goes to the muster point, which is the bay that I previously said, and you end up going in on the Free Folk ship.
Don't be mean to Freight. Go and shine your cannons.
I need to be able to see my face in them, the freight. Don't slack off just because I'm off ship.
I want to see my face in
you
your
can-
balls. Leaving it to
Too
you,
much.
the freight.
Too much. So, Simon, on the map
so-
that you posted, is there a? Can you explain where the
No,
dock?
Squirm.
Okay, so the dock.
The gloves go on your hands, not your horns.
So you'll see there's 4 white bars that go into
Ready to
into the
work.
port. Those are the mooring points for ships. So they don't expect to see many ships at any one point. The 2 smaller ones near the palace are for smaller local vessels. So you would be coming in on one of the 2 that stand out in the middle of nowhere. There's also extra mooring in the estuary itself, where you can just sidle your ship in. But you do end up being directed by the pilot, which is another Koiti, into one of the, let's say, the middle white bar, which is it's not just a jetty; it's built up out of stone, so it's a breakwater that they put there.
Okay.
And you pull up to the breakwater. As you're coming up to the port, you can see that around this town that is normally open, there's no town wall that surrounds it or anything like that. Normally it's the vastness of the area around it that is its defense. You can see them coming a fucking mile off. Mm-hmm. Also, you're not exactly going to get invaded because every tribe is here who's going to invade, you know? There's an obvious wall, a very substantial wall around the palace, so that if there is some sort of rioting that breaks down in the town, the palace itself is used as a muster point to take back the town. You can see marked on the map. You are told where.
It's hard to not see.
You can see that marked on the map. You've already been informed as to where Lucia's shipyard is, and you can go down the estuary and basically park your ship in the shipyard. It has got dry dock facilities, but you haven't kind of called ahead. So again, you're being taken to the breakwater. On the outskirts of the city, that's where I was at. The outskirts of the city. Mm-hmm. On the outskirts of the city, there's no city wall, but you can see that a makeshift demarcation has been put in place because a large amount of people are outside the city. They're trying to get in to get food, to basically barter like some sort of crazy stock exchange when the fishing boats come in. You can see that there's a row of guards, and they are dressed up in the garb of the city guard, stopping these people coming into the city. And there's a orderly queue that's being made to be able to enter the city. It's almost like a kind of refugee camp or shanty town has started appearing outside the city in the hope that they can somehow get some form of food. Some people are trying to fish on the beach here, but what looks like very little success. In fact, any of you who knows anything about fishing knows that some of them are just throwing in whatever they can find, hoping that a fish will just bite it. And so, yeah, they're trying anything they can, but what they are doing, the chances of getting a fish on that are minuscule.
They're really desperate, in other words.
Yeah.
There are some people who are just lying on the beach, breathing shallowly, with signs of what Alphonse will see straight away as starvation.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm tempted to step to this. Oh, God, we don't have.
As you get to the breakwater, you notice that there are guards at the end of the breakwater, as in where the breakwater meets the town, and there's a huge crowd looking around there, and there's a man in a set of robes who is standing on a crate with his hands in the air, clearly talking to them all. In fact, you can hear a certain wah, wah, wah as he's using some form of thaumaturgy to make his voice louder. As the pilot signals you with a flag to moor up to the breakwater, the pilot pulls away, and you can see a harbour clerk running up to you, full pelt, as the loading planks are coming down off the ship. He runs up and says, "Oh, what have you got?"
We had food, right? Yeah.
Yeah, do a quick inventory check. We'll know what we have. So
yeah, on the way, Samwise has added to the inventory himself for as much as he can. And so Sam comes forward, being that he is the captain as well, and he says, "I've got traders here who have brought their own goods." And the guy's like, you know, he's got like a fucking stitch, and he goes, yeah. He goes, and Samwise goes, "We've mostly just been harvesting from the sea. I know you've got the Koiti, but I figured that you could do with some dried fish." And he says, "We'll take anything. We'll take anything you've got." And he goes, "Well, there we go then. We'll start unloading it onto the breakwater." Yeah, he goes, yeah. He said, one of the tribes will be with you now. And you can see that he's somehow having a minor panic attack because there's a near riot happening at the edge of the breakwater as people are trying to get towards you. You do see that one person has started swimming from the beach towards the breakwater to get to you first.
Right. I will quickly jump into the water and meet this person in the water.
Sure. You can see that this person, as you swim up to him, he starts treading water and goes, "I want some of your food.
Yes,
I will trade you many, many wonderful things. I have gems. I have precious metals. I have, if you're interested, more magical opportunities. Give me a quick history check, Shirin.
Student. Do I trust you?
No.
No.
You're a spy. Of
No.
course you don't
I was talking to my dice.
No one.
Simon,
Mhm.
can we get any kind of wagon
6.
or caravan type thing to help move our goods around?
Yeah, there's already one on the breakwater, and it's been brought up for you to load onto. You can see there's a bunch of guards that are walking up as well, city guards.
6.
Normally, the ones that would be quite violent towards you, but you've come in as merchants, so they're there to protect you.
Gems for beholder cookies.
Good choice, by the way. Good choice. That was, in terms of planning, you knock the guards out of the equation for now.
For now.
So yeah,
Right.
the guards.
Excuse you, the answer to every need of a plan is cookies.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Gems for
some kind
beholder
of food.
cookies. I got a 6, by the way, Simon. I don't know if you heard.
You don't know, but he looks dodgy.
Yeah, he does. He looks super dodgy. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I was just going to check if you were in trouble. If not, then you can come and get in line.
You don't understand. I will give you the best price for your food. Any of it, but all of it, if you want. I can have it so that you are going back to your people laden down with gems and good metals.
Well, we'll see. I just wanted to check that you were not in
Then
trouble.
meet us import is the correct thing to
Yeah.
say.
Yes. Then meet us import. Shireen wouldn't know to say that.
Use
you
message
can-
to find that.
You can see at this point that a guard has run up and goes, "You, Chronodoli, back to the beach." And he sneers at the guard and then at you, showing blackened gums, and then starts swimming back.
I go up on the pier because I can easily do that and say, "What's up with him?" to the guard.
Get that man a lime or a lemon.
And the guard goes, "Fucking necromancers."
Right. Yeah. Okay. Probably
New
not.
here, miss? New here?
New here. Yes.
Watch out for the risen skull. If they come offering anything, it's not worth the price.
Could figure it out. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna say to Samwise, yeah, I think it's best that we get off your ship and you get off here. Can you pick us up in a couple of days?
Sure.
It's not safe for you here. And I nod at his daughter, and I just like in a way that says, "I get your reluctance now."
She actually gives you a nod, and as the skags start loading the various things off the ship, Sam says quite loudly, he goes, "It looks like my friends here are going to barter for the fish for me. It sounds like you guys need as many people out there and fishing as possible. I have wide nets and long lines, and well, it's in the blood, you understand. I know your Kawiti are good, but you know what? I'm going to hang around here for a bit, and I'm going to weigh in with you guys. I'm going to come back with more fish. How does that sound?" The harbour master kind of bows deeply and says, Lord Farouk would be most appreciative. And
Necromancers. You fight us with great bows.
Oh my god's sake.
Oh, chat.
And,
Oh,
We're bringing
chat.
Dragon with us, right?
Yes.
yes.
Good. We can show him a necromancer.
The guard
Yeah,
actually
because you
salutes.
will be bringing Scorm with you.
Yeah.
That
The-
is your job.
Yep.
Alphonse.
But yeah, the guard
I was
salutes and says,
thinking Greroy, but that's wow.
the guard salutes and says, we'll get the pilot to see you out now, and thank you. The guard, who's wearing this kind of strange armor, the armor seems to have 2 layers to it. So it's like a metal plate, and then on some kind of ridges, another metal plate. You have a feeling it's a plate that's self-cooling. And the guard unhinges the helmet, takes it off, and underneath is a quite a gaunt-looking drow of all people,
Oh.
and says,
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Thank you, my friend. Most people would just sell the goods and get out of here, but I'll remember you." And looks at the ship, looks at the side of the ship to get the name, and says, "What was the name?" "Oh, Captain Noakes. Captain Samwise Noakes. Everyone's a Noakes here." Definitely. I'm happy to help you, lad. It looks like you're all up the creek. Anyway, best of luck with that rabble. At which point the drow gives a grim look and says, "Oh, I can handle them," and puts the helmet back on. You can see the helmet has the same kind of flanging on it to keep it cool.
Word.
What you now know to be guard captain starts a stiff march back down the breakwater as the Skags load the last of the food into the
Right, don't.
Cart, and you can see that
Fine,
there's
he's on the ship.
Yeah,
3
I
Like
figures.
Kermit can stop him while he's on the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no. Not the rum.
Uh,
That's not rum.
Yeah, it's question is whether or not he's going to drink from the Mer or drink from the noise nip.
Yep.
Sorry, took that straight from Terry Pratchett. So yeah, you can see that 3 figures are coming.
Big
There's
bottle of rum.
there's a man in robes. There's a woman who is wearing kind of like barbarian armor. She's incredibly sunburned, and she's wearing, I guess, the closest that you could get to like bikini mail. I guess she's not wearing a great.
Oh, no.
She's not wearing a great deal of armor. She's wearing like female barbarian armor is the way that.
Oh no.
Oh no!
And-
Oh no!
Oh no.
I'm assuming chat again.
No! It's a
Police
big
get
buff
this one.
lady in front of Ava.
In bikini armor.
In bikini armor.
And you can see even from a distance, this girl is fucking ripped, as in like almost grotesquely ripped. And then the last one that you see walking towards you, with
Your face, Nathan.
a real scowl on her face, is a woman in kind of a silk robe, but it's kind of a robe dress, whereas the male wearing a robe is quite clearly a fucking wizard. And she's got a furrowed brow. She's looking not at all pleased, and she's actually stood a distance from the other 2. So the man in the robe and the hench lady are kind of almost walking side by side, but the other one is walking quite clearly like a person's distance between the 2. You could quite easily slip somebody in between.
Okay.
They walk up to you and say, "We've been commissioned to see that a fair bargain has been made for your good produce. This is the gentleman. I am Magister Eric. This here is Captain Loka. And this, and when he says this, there's a certain amount of disdain. This is Matron Natik. And they kind of look for a moment and then go, ah, yes, maybe you're not accustomed to our tribes. I am of the Rosali. Loka here is of the Bitter Sun. And she, and he kind of flicks his fingers as he says that and goes, and she is of the War, the Blood Whisperer. And you can see that the matron is reacts to everything he says basically with flinches and scowls and kind of glaring in his direction.
Is the matron the one in bikini armor?
No, that was Captain Loka.
Yeah.
The matron, you can see during this time, kind of balls her fists, kind of flexes her fingers and balls her fists. Who's arcane trained, as in has proficiency in Arcana?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Corinne, roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm not the Arcana bitch this time.
Guidance.
Neither.
Always guidance.
Oh, guidance.
We're gonna be right
Guidance.
next to each other.
Guidance.
Just always keep a D4 with you.
Ooh.
And we don't. I don't know much about. We don't. I don't know anything about anything. Well, we don't know much about the Bitter Sun of the Blood Whisper tribe, do we?
The
just
Bitter
sort of
Sun
being
Horde,
told.
you know, are the ones that are working with the Rosali.
Oh,
From what
yeah,
you're told,
true.
they're quite a cruel warrior caste.
Yeah. 14 plus 2 plus 4 equals 20.
20. So you could see that the matron, when she flexed her fingers, was about to throw a curse
Ooh.
at
hello.
the wizard.
Oh, hello.
This is
Thank
good.
you so much for the
raid.
raid. Nord
Oh,
thank
Decay.
Not okay. Thank you very much for the raid. And welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome aboard.
Ah,
And thank you
Dark
for the
Wasp,
follow, Dark Wasp.
yeah, thank you so
Welcome.
much.
Well,
So let's
Welcome aboard.
let's welcome aboard Noir.
Abort.
Decay.
Abort. Welcome aboard.
Almost hermits.
There we
So
go.
Almost.
close.
There we go. Oh, you just finished up the D&D session. I hope it went well. This is our Monday night D&D. We do a Friday night D&D as well. And we do a Tuesday night Genesis Star Wars system at the moment, largely because I want to have some days off. But we do actually have another DM kind of starting on Chaotic Neutral in a few months' time as
Soon
well.
TM.
So yeah. Thank you for the shout out as well. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that she was about to flex her fingers and curse the wizard, and Eric didn't flinch. He didn't.
There's
it
a
didn't
guy
seem
in the
like
crowd
he
throwing
got it.
eggs at chickens.
Sounds good.
Yeah, she got halfway through casting the curse and then just balled her fist, knowing that she shouldn't. And she turns to you and says, "Charmed."
Greetings.
The captain, the henchwoman, doesn't say a thing.
Chicken chaser. I
Ren,
can give.
focus on the game. You're the charisma-based one.
Oh, wait.
Talk.
Okay, I was just gonna put on some chickens. Okay, what did she
We will
say?
get there.
Charm. Yeah.
She just says, "Charmed."
Welcome. What can I do for you? Or what can we do for you?
Mostly you can sell us that food, and fairly and equally amongst all the tribes. At which point Eric says, now, you know that that's going to achieve nothing. If we end up splitting even this food amongst the tribes, a bunch of people will get nothing. We need to prioritize here. We need to make sure that a fair and equal deal is made. And what is fairer than just splitting it between tribes? Because not all the tribes are present in equal numbers. Now, the Rosali don't need this food. Let me put that on the table right now. But I believe that there are more Bitter Sun Horde here than there are any other faction. They should get the lion's share, and for a decent price as well, because they have been helping out with this current predicament. Kawiti don't need any
Simon.
extra food.
Simon.
Simon, I have a very good question. Does my background of having run a bakery help me with actually like knowing how to negotiate and price things like this?
Yeah, you do know the prices, the average prices of things. You know that they are incredibly high at the moment. So as they start talking about price, all the prices are ridiculously high. You'd be like, are you expecting me to barter you down instead of up? I mean, what the hell? This is not how bartering works. You know that they are just looking to. The price doesn't seem to matter. What seems to matter to Arik and to the matron as well is the distribution of them.
Yeah,
Who
Simon.
gets what?
I'm gonna use my subtle spell Meta Magic, and I'm gonna cast detect thoughts and see what they are thinking. I'm gonna start with the chatty guy that is saying that the Suns require lion's share, trying to see what is his surface motivations.
His surface motivations are. I can't believe I have to negotiate this off these fucking Luddites. How did they get through?
Oh.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and figure out what Captain Loka makes of the obvious dispute between Magister Eric and Matron Latic. If
give me an insight check.
She is like just over it, or she's...
Give me an insight check, because Captain Loka, it's not going to be difficult to get the base level information.
Yeah, so I rolled a 19 and +1 insight.
So with a dirty 20, you definitely got enough. She's not entering in this negotiation at all. You would think if her people were starving, she would be like, and you can see the way that she stood. This girl is fucking hench. She's like a fucking anatomy model. You can point
she's getting
out
plenty
every
of protein.
And she doesn't seem to be desperate in any way, shape, or form. And she's just taking Arik's lead. She when he says, "Oh, I think the Bitter Sun Horde should get them because they are more numerous in the city." With a dirty 20, you actually get that Arik is technically correct there.
Okay.
Yeah, you think there may be an asterisk on top of that, but the way that when she nods as somebody who's kind of like, oh yeah, rather than the emphatic, yeah, my people is fucking starving.
Yeah. I want to say because I think this is important to know with how I'm casting the spell that it's not obvious, because I do require a material component, and I do require. I'm taking away the somatic one because that is one of the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
So I will just like twiddle, because you need to use a copper piece or my focus. I'm going to choose to use a copper piece with this one and just like fiddle around in my finger as I do the.
Sure. It's subtle spell. You use the points.
If it can even be called that.
Remember, you need to use subtle spell points 3 times because you're doing it on 3 people. You've done it on 1 so far.
Let's see, subtle spell, features and traits. Subtle spell, you cast a spell, you spend 1 story points to cast it without any S or V components. So I just used it.
No stomatic, no verbal.
Yeah. So
can you move the spell onto different people, or do you have to cast the spell 3 times?
No, I can just move it. So and then from now on it's just mental. I just need to activate it, and now I can. Just,
oh right, okay. So you want to do it the once. Fair enough. So as Dalkle is there, kind of going, this woman's not interested at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to her now to see if she's panicking or if she's just like completely disinterested.
I have a feeling that she's here for the same reason that I'm here.
So
just
she's
to, flex a little bit and make sure that everything goes smooth.
yeah, she's bored and she's wondering what surprise her wife has for her.
Okay. Sadness for.
That's all it is. It's fucking nothing. She's not
I
interested
approve.
in this at all. Yeah,
Okay.
she's not interested in this negotiation at all. Apparently, her wife has got something special for her tonight. It might be a nice meal or something like that. Who fucking knows? But her mind's somewhere else.
Yeah, and I will go, And then I switch to the other lady, the matron, and I assume her surface thoughts
Oh,
are...
her fucking surface thoughts are coming through. It's almost like breaking a dam. So when you read her surface thoughts that are just emanating from her at this point is how much she fucking hates the Rosali and how she knows that there's some sort of play happening at the moment because they're getting all the food and no fucker else is. Everybody's starving apart from the factions that are here with her. And how it was negotiated that these two were able to come in and then she just got crowbarred in as the third. She has no idea. And she is currently communicating with her familiar. You do get her consciously saying
Thank
to
you so
her
much for the
familiar.
follow.
Oh, thanks for the follow. She's consciously communicating with her familiar, which is actually a seabird that's flying overhead, saying, keep an eye out. If there's the first fucking move, tell me I'm ready. And she is actually actively looking for spells, but she's actively looking for spells from Eric.
Yeah, not for me.
Which is why you
I'm
slip by.
so sorry. We promised our friends we would barter for the best prices. I don't think I could do that with only 3 representatives here. You would have to bring at least one from the other tribes to do that. Otherwise, we will simply sell it in the marketplace.
Good luck selling it in the marketplace. You would need some sort of riot control, and it would just it would be frittered away to whoever manages to get to the front of the queue. It would be that all of the weak, the starving, the disabled.
As he's saying this,
pushed to the back.
I'm switching over to him to see what is the truth of his word. Is he lying through his
Bullshit,
teeth?
bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he knows he's bullshitting you, but he's bullshitting you with things that he knows to be true.
Yeah.
So he does believe that if you sell it in the marketplace, there will be a fucking riot, and it will be the strongest who get to the front, and the weakest will be trampled in the process. And he says, look, we are able to manage ourselves. This food will go to the barrio. It'll be rationed out. It'll go to all the barrios. It'll be rationed out appropriately, and it will be used to keep people alive as long as possible until the next ship comes in. We need to make sure that we do this smart, rather than just following our hearts instead of our minds, and allowing people to gorge themselves today and starve to death tomorrow.
Well, what are you saying about the
Are
people
we
on the
still at
beach
docks?
currently starving?
What was that, Jordan?
Are we at the docks still, or are we a bit more in now?
You're on the breakwater still.
Yeah, we're on
Right in
on
front of the
docks.
ship.
Yeah,
In fact, the ship is being pulled away by the pilot at the moment.
yeah. What about the people on the beach that are currently starving?
I know so many unfortunates coming here at the present, and we're trying to get around.
Do you have a representative for them?
Oh, well, of course, they're all of the different tribes. They need to apply to their barriers. That's why we have an orderly line here, so that the different tribes can go to their barriers.
Well, where's the rest of the representatives of the tribes then? Why is there only 3 people here?
Well, that's why we are here, young lady. We have been told to represent all of the tribes by
I'm
the palace.
sorry.
is this
I
bullshit?
don't-
Bullshit?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I do believe I'm probably older than you are. I know my way around this, and what you're saying is not complete truth, and I can see that.
He
By the way-
stiffens and says, "You questioning the word of a Rosali."
Felicia, do you? I haven't really told you this, so have you made an insight check to know that he's actually lying?
That is true, very true. I
Yeah.
should probably do an insight check first, because I am...
Yeah.
You can see he's getting stiff. He's getting he's starting
Of
to.
course not. I'm not doubting
Has the
you.
no- has the
I'm just
note
saying
spoke
that
already
it is very hard for us outsiders to make the proper decision if we don't know the full story. And when only some of the sides are represented, how can we know the truth?
Okay, Danny, what were you going to say, and then I'll respond to that.
Has the Noakes boat already left?
It's been pulled away now.
Okay, it has. And B, is there a crowd at all behind them, or have they been allowed to come to us? Kind of
They've been allowed through the cordon. The
Yeah,
crowd
okay.
is still behind a cordon of guards.
Okay.
So, Felicia, as Ava says this, Eric narrows his eyes and goes, but of course, I'm sorry. I do apologize. The stress of the situation, you understand. Of course, you need to know more. You need to know more about what's going on. You're being conscientious traders, and why not? This is something that you need to do, and of course, I will be able to brief you completely. How about over dinner?
What is his thoughts? What is his thoughts?
Absolutely.
What is his thoughts,
I am
Simon?
so baiting him because I want you to read his mind.
Yeah.
I love the fact you're tag teaming him.
Yeah.
With one of you speaking, one of you reading. And his thoughts are, well, more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
And he says, please, come and have dinner with us. It's meager, rations being what it is, but we have a little to spare for guests. No point in having our merchants
Oh, no.
starving on us.
Don't worry about that. This is your city after all. I can manage a meal if you bring the others that need to be talked to.
There's a controlled breath. You have a
Be
feeling
that
it-
say,
Oh,
Good
she is
fate
simply
through
the
the
most
exchange.
amazing cook. You really need to taste. If you've been on rations for so long, you simply need to taste her cooking. It's simply divine.
go on persuasion with take 10, please.
Guidance.
oh. I'm playing
Ooh,
a nice person.
ooh. 18 plus 1 plus
Nice.
7, which is 26.
Okay, he goes, an offer that no one in our position would refuse.
Is he thinking bitch?
Actually, yeah, pretty much kind of like, well, fuck.
Push them into a corner. That
I've been playing Glory for way too long. These mind games are becoming second nature.
Are any of you trained in insight?
Yes.
Felicia is, yes.
Felicia is.
And I'm reading his mind.
Felicia, what's your passive insight?
How do you calculate?
10
passive
plus-
insight?
10 plus your modifier.
Yeah.
Oh, 17.
17. Even passively,
Wow.
you notice the matron crack a little smile at that point, as if to say, "I like these guys."
We're getting on the good side of people.
Yeah.
I'm pissing off someone. I'm having a good day.
We've
As
only
he
been
says,
here 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like we
and
haven't
we're
even
pissed
got
off
into
the most
city
powerful
proper.
people.
Yes.
Okay.
Plan went
How-
out the ditch, but hey, we can work with this.
There's only one place that such a generous gesture can be held, and that's the palace. I shall make sure that Lord Farouk is in attendance, or one of his representatives at least. He is a very busy man, as you can
Oh,
imagine.
of course, of course.
And as you say, I will get a representative from each of the tribes
Thank
to
you.
come and enjoy these delicacies. I had no idea we had a wandering chef. During
Well,
the time
it's part of our thing. We travel the world through different chips. I do love spreading good cooking.
Fantastic. What an admirable trait. Now, the food that you brought, we can't leave it outside now, can we? Someone's going to steal it. I recommend that it gets taken by the city guards and gets put into their holding. The city guards are neutral within the city, and they will make sure that no one touches your supplies until the deal is concluded.
Is this the truth, Simon?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we have a skag?
I
stay
give
with it?
I give Ava a nod to that.
Oh, on one condition, of course. I would like one of our friends to watch over it, just to make sure nothing happens. You never know when people can break in.
Scornfuse.
No, can I just point out that Scornfuse is... We're being invited to a meal at the palace, and Scornfuse is the only one in a tuxedo. So Scornfuse kind
Needs
of
to
has to come with us.
Yeah.
Well, I've already decided what Scornfuse's signature ability is going to be. If you want him to come to the palace, absolutely.
So we can solve the
Thank
mutant
you,
milk.
Dragon. You
It's-
would do that. You're such a kind boy.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's fertile Scornfuse. That's not food. Don't eat that.
Okay. Don't milk the mutants. Just don't. Why are you milking the mutants?
Can
Because
they even be milked?
no.
You can
Never,
still try.
never say that to
A kobold.
A kobold. Can you? Because they will try. Okay, so actually, dragons, you go with the guards and the supplies. I would like you, dragons, to roll me exclamation point D20, please.
No, don't.
Roll that
don't.
d20.
Okay. Scornfuse, we're gonna have a bath, and I grab him and I put him in the water. after all of this.
Sure. So yeah, when you get a chance, dragons, type in exclamation point D20, and we'll see what you get from the guards, because the guards could potentially be schmoozed. As for the rest of you, once the food has gone, people lose interest in you very, very quickly. So you're able to deploy yourselves and your skags to your various roles. You've been told that Ava, you will be taken to the palace in 4 hours' time to prepare this food, because time is of the essence. This food needs to be distributed.
Of course.
So 4 hours is what you've got. What are the rest of you?
I will nudge her in. Would you mind talking to the other lady? She seemed outside the inner circle.
Yes, for I will basically I will gather all the officers and I will tell them what I got from all of them.
Okay, so everything's been shared. Yep.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah, no, so all of that, so you know that he was completely like lying through his teeth the entire time.
Oh yes, he was the classic merchant. I've dealt with his sort before. I
yeah.
don't like them.
No.
Last one never woke up.
Yeah, let's not do this right here. There's an intricate.
Yeah, let's get somewhere a bit more.
Well,
Yeah.
as long as we don't kill his wife, then it should be fine, right?
No, just there's an intricate political balance here that we don't want to jostle too much.
Yeah, so talking about intricate
please.
political balances, I was thinking, would my character have thought this? Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's.
Do we want to play towards getting favor with the most powerful, with the people that we want to get information from, the
course
Rizali?
not.
We want to just really destabilize that power balance already and
Oh,
help
yeah.
everybody put them.
We want all of our fingers and all of the puddings.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not all gonna go to this party.
No.
It's Alphonse. I'm gonna stick around.
Alphonse is gonna talk to basically the lower ranks of the city
Yeah.
to see what's actually going on outside of the upper echelons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
Ava will approach the other side of the upper echelons to gather information and curry favor.
Whilst
Because
we're
we've
talking,
already seen the divide that's existing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Alphonse is going to suggest we make our way towards some kind of tavern before we just start speaking about all of this out in the middle of the street.
yes.
Oh, of course,
Mm-hmm.
we would have got somewhere private.
We would have huddled. We were at
Yeah.
least.
Whispers, message spell.
Yeah.
Basically, Shirin just sending message spells back and forth, distributing
Silence stone.
information and rolls.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm totally happy to pub crawl
Yeah, pub crawl.
through the docks.
yeah.
Sounds
Nice.
like something Daggle would do.
Yeah.
I approve of this.
Excellent.
Yeah. Just if you let me, do you want me to go with you to the party, Ava?
If you could meet up with me before the party, that would be good. I want someone
want me at the
else
party?
there. Yes,
Want some
maybe.
muscle?
No.
Or
I
maybe
mean,
it's better if
us
you-
two should be fine. As if you can manage to get more information out of the civilians in the city, that would
Yeah, so
be
if you
great.
go with Alphonse, because you guys
Yeah.
will fit
Yeah.
in there.
We can go together, and then we can go our own separate ways. So imagine
Sounds
you
good.
want to go somewhere a bit warmer, or inside at least, with some more food and drink, perhaps.
Though there's probably not going to be much food in tavern, or if there is, it's going to be sky high in price.
Alright,
If they have a food shortage.
Indeed. Well,
Looks
What I'm thinking is, yes, I want to get a hold of the matron lady. She was very. She knew something was up, and these guys, the orc lady and the
Simon,
Mm-hmm.
may I do a thing? The lady who was basically very furious with the other two. Can I recall anything specific she was wearing?
Yeah, I mean the kind of she had what I guess would be charms and tokens on her, like a charm bracelet. She had quite a few necklaces on, kind of like several leather thongings that at the end of each had like different types of baubles and that. She had several earrings in as well. So yeah, there was quite a few noticeable things. Yeah.
Good. Well, you two take Scorn and who else do we have? We have Scorn. Dragon is with our supplies.
and Aura.
Aura. We have
And
Hermit.
Hermit.
Didn't we? And
Hermit.
Hermit.
I'm thinking Hermit too with us.
Yes, Hermit comes with us. You take the other two, and we'll meet up
You're not
later.
taking Scorn with you?
Oh no, we are taking Squam.
We can take Scorn, and you take the other two.
Yeah.
Get as much information as you can, and
Yeah.
we'll meet up later.
Yeah.
And at that, I will use the spell Locate Object, because the lady can't have walked that far away from us yet.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. You get and you start to get a direction. Yeah, you can walk in that direction. Unsurprisingly, it seems to be going to the Blood Whisper barrier, which again you'll find on the map.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the other guys, they've been eating, as you could just see on their bodies, they've been eating really well. Was the other lady showing some signs of, like, starvation? Like, early, like, thinning, kind of dry skin?
I'd say it's probably when you were reading her surface thoughts, she also she's only having her ration,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so she's starving. She's not as badly starving as others because she has
She's a
her own
leader.
barrier.
Yeah.
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 But she's kind of starving herself, where she's low on food herself, and she's more worried for the increasing number of the other Blood Whisper tribe members who are coming to her from outside.
Yeah.
Let's walk quickly after her.
Yeah.
All of us?
No.
No.
You
Our
guys.
strike force, you guys go do the pub crawl or whatever.
Yeah. So we'll bring our little blue kobold tuxedo.
Okay,
So
so
cute.
Ava, Scorn, and Shirin are going to go up to the matron.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Nakali turns around to you and says, when you get quite closer, she's still walking the streets and she's stopped to talk to a number of people. And she turns and says, anything I can do to help?
Yes. We had a few questions about the city, if you wouldn't mind answering.
thought
Before
that's
the
what
dinner
your-
tonight, it's
Before.
it's a little bit hard to get around, you know how it is. New faces and all that.
She leans against a pillar. She's walking kind of along the promenade at the sea. She's about to turn right into what is number 4 on the map. And she leans against what seems to be like a bollard or something. And she gives a deep sigh and says, ask your questions.
I'll look quickly to
Yeah.
Turin.
Yes. So I will ask my question. So how long have they been hoarding the food?
That's quite an accusation for somebody who has only just entered the town.
I raise my eyebrows.
It's not hard to see that the Rosali and the Sun Horde are clearly well-fed, strong. We don't have much need for water, which is why we haven't had more deaths than we would have. But we are cycling a rota on which days we eat and which days we don't. I see no such thing amongst the Sun Horde. They're staying strong. I've even seen them drilling at the back of their barrier. Drilling for what? Surely you would be keeping your
Energy to lowest.
energy just to do what is needed to be done. The rest of us are coming up with plans with each other. Some of us have the ability to manipulate plants, and we're trying to find the right plants that we can manipulate to be able to increase production. Others of us have some idea of how to sail and starting to go into negotiations with the Kiriti.
You don't have any.
The rest of us are looking at other things. We have somebody who says that they're really good at diving for crayfish in the river, and they're teaching others. We see nothing of this from them.
Any.
The Rosali claim that they are using magic to create food, but can only do so enough for themselves.
Do you not have any druids or rangers around you that can use? That I point to Ava that can use the Goodberry spell. I know that one can feed the quite.
We are employing it with. Again, we would have more deaths if we weren't using these things.
Yeah. Yes, that is concerning. And is there any of their people there on the beach starving at all, or is it just of the other tribes?
Wow. And she gives a mirthless grin. They've been turning them away. They've been giving them small packages of food and turning them away. Turning away their own people. And strangely, they haven't had a single person come back begging that what they were given was not enough. I give as much as I can give to some of those who believe that they can go hunting amongst the salt flats. Maybe trying to see if they can get a dune dragon, a sand drake, and take down one of those, and that should be able to feed many of them for a while. There's others who want to be digging for dust tubers. And they just want an investment of food to come back and bring more food. And yet, when I give it to them, a few days later, they come back saying that it wasn't enough. I've seen no such activity from the Bittersea.
There's something going on there for certain.
Yes. And she stops and puts, she kind of looks like she's thinking, but she markedly puts her fingers next to her lips and looks at you. And you can see a large male, again, bronzed skin, but with kind of like a strange bleached red beard. He has a large double-bearded axe on his back and says, "Not trying to get in there before the rest of us, Nikari?" And she turns to say, "I wouldn't think. Besides, all the food from this lot's already not locked up. I'm trying to see if we can get some sort of cooperation going." Cooperation.
Who
Don't
may
suppose
you
you
be, good
guys-
sir?
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm of the Twin Axe. He-
Very literal.
Points at the thing, and double-bearded axes. Like, points to it as if to say, "You fucking idiot." He goes, "I'm with the Twin Axes. I'm no one special, but my brother is. Leads the barrio here."
How are you guys doing for food?
Well, we, and he starts patting these kind of Conan the Barbarian pecs and all the rest of it and goes, "Well, we kind of need a little bit more food than other people. But what I want right now is a way out of this town. Not out that way. But if I can have enough food to get me back into the wastes, I'll happily bring back a dozen dead Sandricks or die trying. You know what? I'm okay with either of those outcomes. There's no place for a member of the Axe Bearers to die here. Just dying in amongst people crowded together in stone huts. Just deciding what's the best way for getting on with people who are frankly just pricks and figuring out where to put all the piss and shit of having all the people all in one place. We're meant to just roam the wastes. We only come here for resupply. That's the only thing that we need. I'm happy to get all of the Twin Axes. Just give us enough just to get into those fucking salt flats, and you will not see us ever again. We'll make it work out there."
What's preventing you from leaving? Is it just supplies to have until you can get out there? Or?
It's solid rock for 3 days between here and the flats. Some of us are thinking of trying it, but problem is we're starved already. If we
Yeah,
had
it's
full
not gonna
bellies,
happen.
and we should have done this the first time, the first sign of it happening. If we had full bellies, we'd just grab as much water as we could carry, and we could do 3 days easy.
Why
Whereas
didn't
this
you
now, we're
leave
living day to day.
when you noticed it then?
Oh, it was
Forward
insidious,
a bit.
wasn't it? We
Yeah.
didn't know there was a problem until we started starving.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? So, tell me, why is this city in such peril? Is it because there was a problem
We
with
live-
supply lines?
Yeah, we live off the boats coming in.
Yeah.
I'm told that there was some ships that were coming in over the other side, where the Rosali have dedicated ports. But they're not accepting many people out there at the moment. And basically, you go to the dock, you drop off what you got, and you fuck off. You're lucky that you were able to come in and roam the streets. I'm surprised you lot aren't being lynched for whatever you got on you. He looks at you, and you've got like a little water flask everybody would have. And he goes, "There's people who'd mug you for that. They wouldn't care about you, Joel."
Oh, we are quite capable people.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That wasn't. I meant no offense.
Oh, don't
God,
worry.
listen to me.
People often look over us as if we're nothing.
Not me. And don't get me wrong. I'd normally be giving you a lot more shit, but you know,
Too
an empty
tired for
stomach
it?
makes you. Yeah, an empty stomach makes you a bit more civil. It turns out.
Give
But
him a
yeah,
Well, lucky for you guys, I actually prepared Goodberry instead of Entangle because I knew we were going to a starving city. Let's use a first level spell slot.
Just like, here, have some.
So how many berries do you conjure when you do that?
I think it
I'm
says on
gonna-
the spell. I think it's like 6 or 5.
I'm gonna
or
double check, but I think it's like
8. maybe.
up to 10 berries.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
You close your hand, you open it, and there are 10 berries. That's a
It's
good
not
trick. I know
much,
that
but-
spell. I don't know it, but I've heard it.
I know of it.
Here.
I
have
try
some.
to help where
Like
I
I
can.
know of playing guitar.
It's just a little thing, but at least it'll last you through the day.
He
You were
goes,
kind.
you know what? I can get with these, and if maybe bringing a few of our rations together, I could probably send out. Well, there's 10 here. That's the first day, isn't it? These last a day. I know about that.
Yeah, they only last a day, unfortunately.
But that's the first of 3 days.
Oops, sorry.
He kind of has a moment of thought and goes, 10 people, 1 day. I only have to give them 2 more days of rations. That already reduces my number by 10. And I can send out a squad to bring back, and that the people I send out a squad to bring back Sandra's. All right. And he turns to you and says, power to your arm. Unstraps the dagger at his belt, which seems to be a general purpose dagger, and hands it to you. And he says, anyone sees that, one of 2 things happened. Either an ex-Kupla gave it to you, or you took it off his dead body. Either way, they'll respect you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Nikali turns to you after this guy heads off with his berries in his hand, and she says, well, "You make friends easily, don't you?"
I do try. I
I
like
don't know
being
whether to be
kind.
suspicious of you or to start befriending you myself. You can ask your questions. She sits back, takes out a very small package, and you can see it's got meager rations inside, and she starts picking up the crumbs, waiting for your questions. However, it is 11 o'clock, so that is where we finish for today. But yeah, you've managed to get into Nikala, you managed to get the ex-Kupla dagger.
Yeah,
which-
we'll start
That guy
next
was
week
great.
before the questions that Shirin and I will surely prepare.
Yeah.
Yep.
Prepare, 100%.
Yes,
They
yes.
have all week to prepare, which means that they will prepare them 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
the session.
Yep.
Yes. Anyway, we'll start next session with the adventures of Doggle and Alphonse.
Yes, we will be.
Good
And
talk.
I've already got, as I say, an idea of what I want to give
Doggle.
Scornfuse as their feature ability. So, and I think it'll be quite fun to use here as well. Before I go, I did forget. One of the artists that we've had on as the Raven Queen, and is a good friend of the show, and many of us have been meaning to get her on a bit more often, is Michelle, aka Feline Trickster. At the moment, unfortunately, bless her, she has buggered up her wrist and is currently is resting it up because that's her fucking trade right there. But before she buggered up her wrist, she was doing her commissions for August and did manage to get mine done. So here's the link. I've also put it in the Discord, and she has taken what I gave her and done
Oh,
that's good.
He's done
Yeah.
a picture of Captain Horn. And when I
Perfect.
said, "Oh, there's a bit of Lizzo and a bit of this
Yeah.
and a bit of that," and she just took it all on board, and I said, go,
Let's see if I can
throw a
bring it up
smattering of
on
piercings
stream.
in, and
Let me
she
see.
did. She absolutely nailed it. Yeah.
Let's see if I can bring it in image.
Yeah, that's the lady who will have your heads if you fuck up badly enough.
Yep, that's the person you call Captain. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I was there kind of going, I want a particular physicality and all the rest of it. So when I was like, size, and I was just like, okay, I need a good
Okay,
reference.
she's
Lizzo,
huge,
Lizzo was the
but-
first thing.
Whoa, okay. There she is.
Oh, there
There
we go.
we go.
So
I just make her slightly smaller.
Yeah.
big thank you
Another to add to the
to
rotation.
everybody who has
Yeah.
joined us watching and everybody who's joined in on the roleplay in the chat as well. Once again, this
chat
was an
was so
experiment
good.
and it's been fantastic. You've again been entertaining us in the same as much as we've been entertaining you. In fact, I've got to make sure that I don't look at chat sometimes because I get waylaid by it all. And big thank you to Kate for raiding. Big thank you to Noir Decay for raiding. And for all you guys who have followed us as well, it's always fantastic to have extra followers. We are here Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at the moment, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK time. Mondays is this. Tuesdays is our Star Wars game, which we'll be recommencing tomorrow. And Friday, we're in the late 80s of episodes of The Benefactor, but don't worry about it.
Oh,
It is,
hi, Kate.
it
Still here.
is shenanigans. Oh, yeah, Kate was there. Yeah.
Oh, never doubt us. We will
Yeah.
always do shenanigans.
So even though it's episode 80 something, you don't have to worry about it being too far in a story or anything like that. It is always going to be shenanigans, and you'll pick it up as you go along. And I have got a catch-up document, but it's out of date already, so I'll have to do another
It's
one.
been out of date for a while, unless
Yeah.
you updated it and it got out of date
Oh,
again.
I started writing an update, and then you guys did some stuff, and I was like, oh, back to the drawing board. So
Yeah.
it might be nice to do a Q&A at some point for anybody who does want to join it. And so maybe just do a video, so a VOD that you can link to people and say, here's the story so far. But either way, you'll be able to follow the adventures of Felicia, Corinne, Kate, and Nick on Friday as well, if D&D is your thing. For those of you who've joined us and is watching today, you can actually join the crew. That's why we put up there the crew have been not had a huge amount to do at the moment because we were setting the fact that we are now into the second phase of this campaign, and that is We Be Thieves, and that's why everybody's trying to get into this town. However, next week there's a lot for the Skags to do as well, as they get to run amok amongst the town and start picking up information and things, which is why I was trying to get Dragons to roll their D20.
Just make a note of it. You can roll that next week.
Yeah, we can roll that next time. We know that Dragons is with the guard, so Dragons gets to speak to the guard. Yep, and we'll get that done as well. So yes, big thank you to Prime, Hermit, Storm, and Dragons for joining them with the mission, and to Defrate for your usual involvement on the deck of the ship with your little dog Bagel as well.
Bagel the dog.
I'm really glad you got that in the loop, dude. I'm so pleased.
So am I. I still can't believe the bagels from episode 1 were that popular.
And I absolutely love how much use I'm getting of Sell Spell and Detect Thoughts is amazing.
Oh god, yeah. Well, Detect Thoughts it's not broken, but if you use it the right way and everybody buys into it, it can be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it's good for keeping the storyline going, actually. So.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't done so already, if you have hit follow, look below in the channel notes, and there will be a Discord link. Hit that Discord link. Join us on the Chaotic Neutral community.
Just link, but I will link it again for everybody.
There we go. Nightbot did it for us as well. Thank you, Nightbot. So join our Discord. We play a bunch of games. We do role-playing games. At the moment, I'm falling in love with Genesis. system, which we've been using for some
Come
time.
play WoW.
And
Yeah.
yes, we have some addicts here.
Yep.
We have some
Yeah.
WoW addicts, and it's getting bad. But if you want to speak to a bunch of addicts about your fellow addiction, you can talk to them
Hello,
about
my
WoW.
name is Corinne, and
We will
I'm a
make-
WoW player.
We'll make a WoW chat room in Discord so that all of it can go out of general and into the. We'll call
Oh,
it. the
don't
therapy
worry, we
room.
already have another chat for that by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you're
we-
back
There's a
to work
reason
now,
why it
aren't you?
doesn't
So it's
clog
not
up
8 hours a
too
day.
much.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll make an
Yeah.
official one so that anybody can just step in there and get
Oh, yeah.
infected.
Let's bring us all in.
Yeah, a good quarantine room or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, also some of us. Rodrigo, who played Aiden in the Benefactor before not being able to make it anymore, but still very much a core part of our community, has a shared love with myself, Seekian, and a bunch of the others of Lancer. Oh my god. And that's not DM'd on stream. Ed does it as a casual thing, but we are loving that game, and I'm making.
The more I hear about it, the more ridiculous it sounds, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's the only role-playing game that I've ever seen where if you come from old generation like me, so MechWarrior, BattleTech, that
It's-
kind of
it's-
thing.
You
It's
must
the mecha
realize-
anime, the game.
I was
Yes.
about to say, so
Okay.
you can be from there, or you can be from like Voltron, Gundam, Transformers. You can be from as
Hello,
local as
Corinne.
Titanfall. Yeah. So Titanfall is fairly new. But that's how Ed got in there, and Ed's actually DMing just with his love of Titanfall.
Yeah.
And it covers all of that shit. Oh my god, it's
Is that
just
on is that on this channel?
No, they're doing
not-
it in
well, not
weekends.
yet. Not yet
That'd
is
be cool.
the word. So
We'll
I
see.
may have started writing a lot.
He played
I-
it and he was like, I need this,
Yeah.
and he started writing.
Kate,
I-
are
I
you
may
doing
be
a...
on-
At every game we play.
Kate,
I
are
may be
you...
on page. Go on.
I was gonna say, Kate, are you doing a late night stream? If so, we will
I was
shunt
going
these
to get
view.
to. Yeah, I was going to get to Kate and the others.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm
I
on
have
page
work tomorrow, so I need to very soon.
14 at the moment of the campaign notes, so it's a lot.
Nice.
Anyway, Corinne wants to go, so let's make this faster.
No,
Kate's
not
not,
Hannah.
Kate's not doing a stream tonight, but also if you're on the Discord as well, you'll be able to see whenever Kate's online because we've got a going live thing, and when Seekian's going live as well. So you'll be able to find a lot of other cool streamers through us as well. So yeah, join the Discord, say hi, join the community. Other than that, follow Kate Madison, follow Seekian, that's Seakeon. They are wonderful streamers as well, part of the community, and we always like to give shout outs to them as well. I think that's everything. But thank you for visiting Chaotic Neutral Games, and we will see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for Star Wars Legends of the Sprawl.
Yes.
Good
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.